Gao. Gao.
Let's go Myst Gaya Myst Glove.
Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the second stream of the week, the Thursday stream, and the FGO heavy week continues, and today is a very big day indeed. Unlike other weeks, the tier list is today, not tomorrow on a Friday, because of gacha scheduling, and because this tier list also will definitely not take a full stream, so I figured I'm just gonna combine them, move it back a day. I hope no one minds that, it should be fine, right? So yeah, that's what we're doing today. A lot of stuff. It's gonna be 2 different videos, in fact. Obviously the gacha rolls will go up tonight because that's an easier one to, you know, render and upload.
Love you,
but sometime tomorrow the tier list will be up as well. Oh yeah, for those asking, I do not have COVID as of yet, at least. I am feeling pretty normal, and I did the test earlier today and it came out negative. So, I mean, you never know, I might still get it, of course, because my brother does have it and he's in the same house. But right now I'm feeling pretty normal. And again, the test came out negative anyway. So, yeah, here's hoping it'll stay like that, because I don't really want to cancel any streams. If I get sick, you know, that would kind of suck. I would still like to do all this stuff this week as scheduled. Anyway, some subs. We got Fallen gifting 2 subs. Thank you, my dude. Very nice of you. Much appreciated. Fesher with the full year resub. Much appreciated as well. Welcome back to the Gal Gang. Enjoy your 1-year badge. And Sign with the 11 months. Also very close to a year. Thank you, man. Welcome back to the Gal Gang as well. Very nice. Gacha first? No. The list is first, then the gacha. Because I'd rather do the salty part last. You know, that's what I always try to do. Ooh. I have no idea how long the list is gonna take, by the way. It's obviously considerably shorter than the previous ones, because I'm splitting extra classes in 2. So hopefully next week is the second one. But if I had to guess, still around 2 hours at least.
Time.
I honestly have no idea. It could be a lot of things. Hey, Solitude with the 23. That is very close to 2 years. Thank you, my dude, and welcome back to the Gal Gang as well. Cool. Very nice. Oh, are you talking about your roles or someone else's, right? So I actually have the channel muted because of reasons. Anyway, so yeah, interesting stuff lined up today. Whoo, it's gonna be a big one. Oh yeah, for those asking, I'll be going for 1 copy of both Cadis and Dioscuri. I don't really need multiple copies, so yeah. Just, you know, wanting to get 1 copy of each. And if it's somewhat painless, then maybe I can roll a bit more on Roma next week. We shall see. Right. Let's see. Oh shit, right. It interrupted the alert because the alerts are not enabled on this scene because of the tier list, but I do see this stuff at least. Escape, thank you for the 2 months, my dude. Welcome back to the Gal Gang. Thank you so much for resubbing. Also, of course, Sui is appearing today of all days, now that Canis is on NA as well, huh? The #1 Canis fan. Thanks for the 32. That is a massive resub. Definitely, I think top 5 oldest sub in the channel. I think that's the case. Thank you, man. Also a 32-month streak. That's kind of crazy. Like a full streak too. Welcome back to the Gal Gang, my dude. You'll be rolling Olympus with me as well. Well, hopefully you don't sap my luck too much, but fair enough. Hey Haas, thanks for the 7 months as well, my dude. I am feeling pretty normal right now, so should be good to go. Welcome back to the Gal Gang as well. Very nice one, Jamango. So yeah, this is the lineup for today's tier list. And in case it wasn't obvious, it's comprised of rulers, Avengers, and Moon Cancers. Everything else is next week, and it's around the same length of servants, or same number of servants. It's a difference of 1, I think. So Shielder, Alter Ego, Foreigner, and Pretender will be next week. Because God, I would have had to have done so much prep for this list. You have no... I already did a bunch of stuff yesterday to prepare for some of the ones I'm not too sure about here in this list. Well, yeah, he's spending most of his time in his room, my brother, that is, so... Yeah, kinda isolated, I guess. Not a whole lot of low rarity servants on this one, huh? No surprises there. Hey, Vanilla's with the 16 months as well. Thank you, my dude. That's a lot of resubs already. Much appreciated. Welcome back to the Gal Gang as well. No Pretender. Next week. I'm splitting these in two, so, you know. Otherwise, I would have had to have done hours and hours and hours of prep before this list happened. And it's already gonna take a long time to do these anyway, so extra will be in 2 parts. So everyone you don't see here is gonna happen next week if everything goes fine. yeah, I made the same joke yesterday as well, Rish, actually. So you're not wrong on that sense, I suppose. Alright, let me hydrate a little bit. Good stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, hopefully you guys are having a nice Thursday yourselves as well. Don't think I said that either. Hopefully today will be good. Both the tier list and the rolls would be nice. Let me just make sure all my stuff is good to go. Oh yeah, there's one thing I forgot to do. Give me a second. I immediately remember that as I was about to go into my notes. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Where's my notes? Where are my notes at? Just doing this. This is like a checklist maneuver here that I'm doing, so everything is basically good to go for the tier list. Yeah. Right. Yeah, looks good to me, honestly. How about that? Hello, Eren, how you doing? Woo! Thanks, Vanillus. I hope I can use that luck later. Are you late? No, we're literally about to start the tier list here in a minute, so... You are kinda just in time, I suppose, Jackie. Woo. So how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 26, right? Quick maps. Yeah. 26 servants for today. Alright, I think we honestly might be good to go then, right? Hopefully you guys are ready as well. Hopefully volume is also fine. I'll let the mods handle the songs and whatnot as usual, so if a song is loud, hopefully they can adjust, because I'll try not to mention the songs at all, because again, they won't make sense for YouTube later, because, you know, obviously they will not be hearing these songs. They will be hearing just my stupid voice talking for 2 hours or more, probably. Nothing on the background. So many SSRs compared to SRs. That is very true, actually, yeah. Like, they already start from the first row, and then obviously the entirety of the second row is full of SSRs. Whew. Quick stretch, and I think we should be fine. Or the alter egos next week. Alright, so again, this is where the video starts too. So hello YouTube, and first and foremost, of course, you can see that obviously this is, I decided to do extras in 2 parts. So if you don't see someone you were expecting to see, don't worry, they will appear next week if everything goes according to plan. It's a pretty even split. But as you can see, hopefully today we'll be tackling the good old rulers, Avengers, and moon cancers. Everything else for the extras will be next week. So again, just to get that out there, because even some people in my chat are kind of confused about the classes. So that's what I decided. I possibly could have done all of this in one go, even if it would have been the longest list overall, but man, the amount of prep I would have had to have done between the last list and this one would have been insane. So excuse the dog on the background, but yeah, with this I at least didn't have to, you know, completely fry my brain thinking about all this stuff. But I did have to do a lot of thinking for some of these. I think a lot of them are pretty straightforward, believe it or not. But some of them I had to do a bit of research on, because my own, you know, experience with some of these is not the best. But luckily I had good support from other people, giving me valuable insight as well. Also, chances are I might be getting Rona in the near future, because my brother has it in the same house. So, you know, if something gets delayed, you'll probably know why it is. So hopefully that doesn't happen, but you never know. But yeah, again, we're gonna kick off with the disclaimers here. Because again, some people might only watch 1 or 2 of these lists and not all of them, so I have to mention them in all of these parts. So, I am not an expert once again. Who would have guessed? I've just played the game for a very long time, over 5 years on JP and NA since launched, every day, both of them. So I would like to say at least have a good chunk of experience playing this game. Also, obviously I'm a content creator, so, you know, I try to be a bit more professional, at least as much as I can. As you can also see, every servant of these 3 particular classes are included as of March 24th. 2022, including all the buffs that have been released by this point. So everything in terms of that is taken into account here. Now the big one, of course, the main placement criteria is that I will mostly place the servants on based on what they do and how well they do it. Again, if someone is a great farmer, like a really broken one, I'll probably place them as a farmer. Someone's a great boss killer, hey, you know, single target DPS and all that whatnot. But of course, if someone excels in more than one role, which again, even in this list, there will be servants like that, so they're probably gonna get some bonus points because of that. So very cool. Now, another big one, which is something a lot of people always ignore in my lists. Different rarities should not be compared, because it's kind of unfair. So it's just because, let's say, a 4-star is in the same tier as a 5-star and they're both like single target DPS rulers or something like that, does not mean they're necessarily equal, okay? And obviously most people will still skip over this stuff anyway, but yeah, I still see comments from people like, how could these 2 be in the same tier? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, because you skipped all the disclaimers. That's why. That's why it doesn't make any sense. Obviously, there are cases where a lower rarity obviously can be better than a higher one, and of course they're getting way more points because of that if that's the case, but baseline, don't do comparison between the different rarities because it's just kind of unfair. Free support pick everyone has available is obviously considered here. Comparing units among their peers within their rarities, but not different ones. MP1 assume across the board for non-welfare gold servants. It's a gameplay list, not a favorites list. Hopefully that's obvious by now. Obviously there's gonna be some ones here that I'm particularly fond of, but I'm gonna try my best to be as unbiased as I can here. Now the placement order is a bit different here than the last one. It's still rarity to highest rare, like lowest to highest. So we're stopped with 2 to start, or whatever mango you want to say, 0 star to 5 star. And then within the rarities are also the release order. But because this is 3 different classes, I decided to do also... so the prio is rarity, class, and then release date, basically, if that makes sense. So it's a bit more organized, if that makes sense. Hopefully it does. And yeah, if you're watching this later on YouTube, obviously there's gonna be timestamps later as well, so feel free to jump around if you want. Or because again, even though this might be the shortest list so far, you know, I don't blame people if they don't want to watch the entire thing, because it will be still a very long video regardless. And again, this will be mostly uncut anyway. And be sure to check at the end of the video / stream, whatever you're watching this from, because we will, after everyone has been placed initially, we might do a little bit of shifting around until we lock in final placements. So before you write an angry comment of why your waifu isn't the rank you wanted her to be, then, you know, just make sure you check the end first, because some things might get shifted around a little bit. So I think that's mostly it for the disclaimers. This is gonna be an interesting one. Kinda nervous, honestly, but, you know, I'm sure it's gonna go fine, hopefully. Woo, yeah. Again, I hope I didn't forget anything, but yeah, I think we should be good to go now. So, I guess, without further ado, we'll start. But before that, Neo, thanks for the 17 months, and Fuki, thanks for the 15-month resubs. Welcome back to the Gal Gang, my dudes. Alright, so we're gonna go into the Avenger list first, because, you know, we have the only 0-star servant in the game who basically has the stats of a 2-star still, but, you know, I guess for the sake of it, 0 stars. Also, I zoomed in a bit more on the wiki page because of a comment someone left, so again, thank you for the feedback. I can't really hide the side thingy easily, but at least you'll see a bit more of the stuff that's relevant, so, again, feedback is nice. So, we got Mr. Andimayu. Mango Man, Angry Man, Bearer of all evil or curses and whatnot, so yeah, he's a pretty legendary character, let's just say that. You know, I guess I should compare his stats to a 2-star, because that's kind of what his stats are based around. So his attack is obviously already lower than on base, like on average for a 2-star. But to be honest, his MP doesn't scale off of attack anyway. Not that it's a great MP, but it doesn't even scale off of his attack. Fun fact. I think most people already know that though. So what is he? I don't honestly know what to call him. He's a DPS that's really bad. Voice crack. It's so bad it made my voice crack. No one really knows what his purpose is supposed to be. His purpose is supposed to be the worst servant in the game, and honestly, he accomplishes that fact. So again, very accurate lore-wise. So what do we got? We got an Arts MP, a delayed counter hit, similar to Bazette, obviously. That works in a different way though, but similar. Double quick, double Arts deck. So I guess I was about to say he can do an Arch Chain, but he really can't, because he's gonna stun himself with the MP anyway, so you can already forget about that. You know, if anything, it would have been better if he had a triple quick deck, because he has a quick buff in his kit, not an Arts buff. So that's already kind of weird. I won't be talking too much about MP gain today, honestly, because some people have noticed that sometimes my estimates are not the most accurate things out there, because I'm mostly going from memory and from my head, so it's not like I'm doing calculation here. It would just add way more time if I calculate them all individually, but yeah, whenever I do remember if gains are good or not, then I'll mention it, but otherwise I won't be talking about them too much. But in his case, definitely nothing special. Now for the skills, is there anything he can do? Well, a single target crit chance down for 3 turns for 50% on a 6-turn cooldown ain't bad, honestly. It's very basic, but it's not really bad. I like the effect. It's a pretty hefty crit chance down, so, you know, it's not the worst skill I've ever seen. Second skill is a single target drain, guaranteed. And a single target attack down 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown yet again. So yeah, he can actually do a bit of crippling for one enemy with these 2 skills combined, I suppose. Again, could be worse. Then the third skill, it's an interesting one. So he gets a stacking quick buff for 5 turns. So every turn it just gets better and better, I suppose. Up to a really high number, in fact. Up to 200% if you max it, and that's on turn 5. Again, which is just a shame he doesn't have a triple quick deck. It's really weird. But yeah, now you might think there's a hefty demerit, and there is. He's gonna die after 5 turns. So there's that. But with the buff, it also includes a one-time 6-turn guts with 50% max HP on a 7-turn cooldown, because the buff also reduced the cooldown by 1, so... And it's a stackable guts. So, you know, there are ways to play around the demerit, I suppose, but... It's just like with only 2 quick cards, shitty stats, and mostly neutral damage, even with a 200% quick up on the final turn, let's say you get the miracle, where you get the BQQ chain, with crits and everything, right? The ideal best case scenario. Not a whole lot of damage anyway, honestly. Just pretty underwhelming. No surprises, honestly. And as for passives, he has the normal Avengers stuff, and that's it. You know, the good old MP per turn, crit damage, and then MP generation on damage taken up while reducing your party's debuff risk. Not much to say about it. I kind of like the Avenger passives for sure. They're definitely useful to have, so it's alright, I guess. Caster bonus, because why not? And then the MP. Oof. Oh yeah, someone... I always say that, don't I? I always say, and then the MPs. The people always leaving comments about that on videos, like, oh, take a shot every time he says that or something. Yeah, I guess I do tend to say that a lot. But yes, the MP. So what do? He's gonna heal himself with his OC. Base 1k, not a whole lot. And then he stuns himself for the remainder of the turn. So again, you can't even do a Brave Chain with the MP, because this stun... will go through no matter what. You can't even play around it. It's a special stun, so that's kind of unfortunate. And then he does damage at the end of the enemy's attack phase based on how much damage he took. Well, not based on how much damage he took, but the differential of what his HP was and what his HP is after the enemy attacks, and then multiplied by the MP level. And obviously, if anyone's ever used him... Even at MP5 with the 3 multiplier, like, you gotta realize it's based on his, the potential is based on his HP, not his attack. So on baseline 7.9k, let's add 1k foe to that, so 8.9k, he can do like what, 8 times 3? 24k damage? That's like the best case scenario ever. On a regular level 65 1k fold Andimayu. That's the absolute best case scenario on MP5. And that it really takes everything perfectly in terms of his HP being just right. Because remember, this is good, but it's also awkward because again, it's a 50% max HP revival. So there is a funny scenario where let's say you have, because again, look at his HP. Let's say he has 2000 HP remaining, okay? Let's have a situation like that. You use his MP, right? You still have the guts up. He gets crit with like 10k damage, and his guts activates, and he's back to like, what, half of this? His MP deals 0 damage. It's stupid with the way it works, because again, it's the differential of the HP. His HP was lower than the current one after that damage because of the way the guts kind of heals him. So his MP would just deal 0 damage at that point, despite you being crit to death. It just doesn't make any sense. The way it works is stupid. The damage is way too underwhelming. Nothing about it makes any sense, but yeah, it's just weird. At least they fixed it with Bazette, but yeah. Oh boy. Well, I guess he lives up to his name of the worst servant in the game, I suppose. Sure, a couple of his skills are not terrible, but even then, there is no reason to bring him whatsoever, because so many other servants can do the same thing. There you go, just a straight up E. Fun character and great in Holo Ataraxi. I would recommend reading it if you haven't, but gameplay wise at FGO, no. Right, and now we get to the only other low star in this entire part 1 thingy. Mr. Composer himself, Antonio Salieri. Ooh. So what do we got? AoE, Arts, Farmer, and DPS. He can do both. Might not be the best in either, but he can definitely do both. Attack is a ridiculously high 8.1k for a 3-star, which I believe is still the highest in the game for a 3-star. Correct me if I'm wrong here. So that's a great start. In fact, it even dumps his HP, funnily enough, so that's a great attack for a 3-star, needless to say. Rocking a double arts, double buster deck, which I'm a fan of, because it enables him to have a bit more crit potential, because that's what kind of his kit is oriented towards, and also enables him to do a full arts chain in combination with his MP for some good damage potential. His gains are not good. I wish they were a tiny bit better, because that means he would be able to, on most stuff, do black grail farming for arts looping, but some classes still work with that, but some don't, so I wish it was a tad bit higher, but oh well. Now the skills. Innocent Monster EX, so you get 10 stars every turn for 3 turns and a 5-turn cooldown, and self-crit damage for 3 attacks or 5 turns for 30%. This should definitely be at least 50%, because it's only restricted for 3 attacks. It's still an okay skill, but definitely not crazy good or anything like that. Should definitely be at least... Honestly, I would like to see even 100%. It's 3 crits and it's gone. So, yeah, I don't think that would be broken on a 5-turn cooldown. 30% is just way too low. Now, second skill, self-arts up. Again, they do the same thing, and it's going to be on the 3rd skill as well. So self-arts up for 3 attacks or 5 turns and a 5-turn cooldown. Again, this should be higher, because it's only 3 of his arts cards that can use this, and then it's gone. So 30%. I wish it was like 40 at least, but oh well, because there's no other effects anyway. Damn. They have buffed the 3rd skill though, which is great, because it solves one of... well, it doesn't solve his problem fully, but it helps with the problem he had. So it's a single target defense down for, again, 3 attacks or 5 turns, 30%. So this will be consumed immediately if you're fighting one guy. Just nothing you can do about it. It's just gone. Not very easy to control. So again, not the best, but the buff did add some good stuff, in the sense that he now has a very good chunk of absorb, and there's the 100% crit damage for 1 turn. So his big problem, at least as a DPS for me, was that his crits, obviously as an Avenger, were unreliable, because their base absorb is very bad. I wish this was 3 turns though, so it's still nice that he has some absorb now, but it's still a big downtime for this effect, right? So yeah, it's a bit annoying. There will be similar cases later in this very list with some of these Avengers that you'll see that have the same problem, but you know, they're trying, I guess. So it's obviously, he's in a better state now as a DPS. Good old Avenger passives. Not much to say about them, they're alright. Another caster bonus, obviously because of Mozart, right? And then the MP. Sadly has not seen a damage buff. And the merit of your party getting 20% star gen down for 3 turns can actually be kind of annoying sometimes. Sometimes it can actually dent your star generation quite a bit, especially if you're spamming this MP. The OC also not super strong. It's an arts res down on AoE for 3 turns, 10% base, but it's after damage, so it does work with his kit obviously, but it's still not that strong, I would say. But hey, he's still not a terrible DPS, and he can actually do arts looping as well with double Castoria. I can actually show you here, so Hopefully you can see this is pretty actually I'm not sure if you can, but yeah, it's pretty small. But Salieri double Castoria. In some cases you can use Black Grail, but a lot of cases you probably want to put a 50% on him with 20-30, and then yeah, his damage is not as super high, but it's doable for sure as an option, but don't expect miracles from him. I'm thinking between B plus and A, honestly. Maybe even an A as a 3-star. He's fine. Maybe a B plus. He's not like in the top tier in either farming or DPSing, but he's fine. Maybe B plus is pretty fair. Alright, time to hydrate again. I wouldn't say eventual MP5 staying, because, you know, not everyone does those extra GSSRs. And that's like the only eventual, because otherwise you won't MP5 him being story locked. So you can't get him as a free MP5, sadly. Right, yeah, I guess that's it for the low stars. And then we move on to 4 stars, and we're gonna go rulers first, right? Yes, sir. We're gonna start with... sadly, a somewhat underwhelming one in these days, but hey, Summer Martha Ruler, Punchy Saint. Here she is. So, single target buster DPS with a full gorilla deck to complement that, I suppose. So, red chains galore, I guess. Now, attack is actually good, higher than average, and with the ruler modifier it's even better, so that's cool. Gains are honestly not as bad as you might think they are, despite having a full gorilla deck, but obviously she only has 2 cards that can generate at all, but they're not bad for generation. But even then, obviously having only 2 of them still on average means her gains are not that good. Now the skills, self battery 30% and attack up 20% 3 turns, but only on water side maps, 6 turn cooldown. On most cases, you won't be getting a tad attack buff, so this is not a great skill with that 30% battery on a 6-turn cooldown. Even if you do get the attack buff, it's just alright, I would say. It's nothing crazy good, it's just okay. But yeah, sadly, in most cases, this is pretty underwhelming, I would say. Second skill, one-time debuff immune, no duration, kinda cool, I guess. And then a up to 3k heal self on a 5-turn cooldown. I like that both are defensive effects, but still, underwhelming, I would say. Pretty underwhelming. Doesn't really do too much. And then the third skill, good old Martha gimmick, right? Self-damage up 1 turn against demon, divine, or undead enemies. 100% 5-turn cooldown. The divine stuff is good. Demon and undead are not good. Those are not good traits to have. Those are not very common in bosses at all. Those are like trash mob thingies, so no one really cares about that. But hey, divine at least is somewhat accessible on a boss. Yeah, it should be. I wish it was demonic instead of demon, because those are 2 different traits. It is a big chunk of damage, obviously, even though it does have a sizable downtime, though. But man, this is an old kit for sure. Oh man, not very impressive, I would say. Magic EX, love that though. That's cool. That's very cool. Great passive. Berserker bonus, love it, even though, you know, bringing ruler on a berserker is somewhat counterintuitive, I guess, because, you know, you're losing the thing that makes rulers so good, but, you know, DPS, I guess. Luckily the MP has been buffed though, but it's not an amazing buff, so it's just a damage buff that also increased the value of the OC a little bit. So it's it's base 20% defense down for 1 turn before damage. I wish it was 3 turns. It's still kinda eh. And over there's no other normal effect either, so yeah. And because you're gonna miss this attack buff a lot of the times, and this one might not always work, it doesn't do a ton of damage, honestly, on average. It just doesn't do a lot of damage. Obviously, if you do get a full Buster Brave Chain, then she can actually slap a little bit for sure. But besides that, I feel like she is not looking too great on 2022, even with all our great Buster support overlords and whatnot. especially compared to someone we're gonna see very soon. Does not really compare, sadly. I think Martha still is one of the Bs, I think. I'm not sure if I can give her an A, but I might be willing to place her in B+, honestly. Because Ruler is still the best class in the game, in my opinion. And, yeah, she's not terrible. Maybe just a flat B, honestly. I kind of agree with you guys, yeah. Could use another buffer too, for sure. But still very usable. But don't expect, like, amazing damage from her, because that's not really happening. But hey, she's kind of easy to keep alive, I guess. Alright, the first welfare is next, huh? The one that never got a rerun. Ket Santa. Here we go. So, what do we got? Buster, AoE. Not a farmer, honestly, but a DPS. And a DPS with some nice team utility as well, I would say. So, an interesting one for sure. Attack 9.6k, again, much like Martha, is good. That's nice. Double Buster, double Quick Deck, I feel like is okay. I still like that she has the double Buster for a Buster full chain potential on that card type. And gains are better than Martha's for sure, because of the deck just being better. Just because of that alone, it's already better. Now, skills. So, party attack up 3 turns, 20%, and up to 10 stars per turn for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. We're gonna see a very similar skill later on another servant in this list, which just is flat out better than this. But hey, honestly, not a bad skill, I would say still. This is definitely, it's just a much better charisma, if anything. Nothing broken, but it's just a pretty solid skill, I would say. Second skill, it's a targeted one, so one ally gets up to 600% absorb, only for 1 turn though, sadly, but also 30% star gen for 3 turns. I think both should have definitely been 3 turns, 5-turn cooldown, so yeah, as is, it's just okay, but again, fairly underwhelming, I would say, but at least in her defense, I guess she is a welfare, so, you know, they tend to never have, like, really damn good skills, although we're gonna see one soon that actually has a much better skill set, I would say. Ironically enough. And then self buster up 30% for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown already is pretty solid. And then 1 turn buster absorb for self 600%. So at least this one is fairly okay. I like the buster buff. The uptime is good and the number is also fine. So not too bad. I think her kit is definitely better than Martha's at least. Yeah, I think that's for sure. Magic was A+ is nice, and then a bonus goddess essence for another 25%. Good old like OG kits as well. So yeah, that's a lot of innate debuff res, which is always great to have. Love it. Ruler bonus, sure. Rulers are neutral against each other, right? Full on neutral on both sides. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Not sure if you ever want to bring her against rulers, but you know, there it is. Right, the MP. So before damage, 100% star gen for self for 1 turn. So with a 4-hitter MP, Buster, and you know, like double 4-hitter quick, she actually has some decent potential for a very good star generation turn. Actually, it's not bad. It's not like Raikou good necessarily, but it's pretty decent as well. And then party crit damage, 3 turns base, 30% on that OC. Also not too shabby. Also, it tends to be 50% normally, but that's only for the self effects. This is the AoE version, so I feel like 30% is very fair as a compromise. So honestly, and a free MP5, the MP is not bad. It's actually fine. I feel like she's pretty alright. A good, like, and maybe not them. I mean, I guess you could even run her as a main DPS, but I feel like she's most better paired with another support and like a single target DPS on top as well. I feel like she's around an A at least. She just looks very solid. I haven't really used her too much outside of her Christmas event, but yeah, nothing wrong with her, honestly. Free MP5 is also very poggers. Oh my, I have to be unbiased here, but I feel like it's also very fair because most people who have used Luvia, aka Estrella, just know how great she is anyway, so I have a feeling my bias will not matter too much anyway. So, single target arts DPS ruler. Attack so far the highest, a bit higher than Martha and Kit's, which is again great. Double Buster, double Arts I think is really good because she also has crit potential and can still do a full Arch chain with the MP. Great. Gains are actually pretty damn good. Especially, you know, with some turns you can go from 0 to 100 as well. Even with her own buffs, granted you get nice crits. It's actually kind of nuts. So yeah, that's a great start, I would say. Now the first skill. So it's a targeted buff. 20% attack up for 3 turns. 20% defense up for 3 turns. And 20% MP gain for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. Now that's good. That's really good. That's a great skill. And, like, it's targetable too. Like, what? That is a great, great skill. Really good. Second skill. Just a better mana burst, basically. Normally an arts mana burst is around 40%, but hey, if I would totally trade 10% arts for 30 stars. I feel like that's a very fair trade, so yeah, that's a big skill too. The downtime is pretty big for sure, but yeah, it's not a bad skill at all. And then the stars actually help with the third skill as well. So you pay 5 stars, what do you get? Self 500% absorb for 1 turn, self crit damage 50% for 1 turn, and a 20% battery on a 4-turn cooldown. So yeah, I would say not too bad. The kit itself just makes so much sense. Great synergy. To me, Luvia was always like a better version of Lancelot Saber, basically. They're very similar in what they do, but Luvia just feels better to use in my opinion. Not that Lancelot is bad by any means. More crit damage on that passive, high rank, love to see it. And territory creation, a permanent 10% arts up. Yes, please. Yeah. And then another Goddess's Essence for a good chunk of debuff as well, and a bit of tickling. Those are some great passives, man, as well. Archer damage, because why not? You can kind of use her against anything. Well, not Avengers, but, you know. And then for whatever reason, they decided to buff her MP as well. This MP, huh? So yeah, the buff in addition to the damage upgrade also includes now an Invul Pierce for 1 turn before damage. Fun. Balanced. Great damage, and another 20 star bomb as well. And if the enemy is evil, they're dead. They're just dead. But even if you're not fighting evil, after this buff and with a very solid kit and numbers, even despite doing neutral damage a lot of the times, she smacks. She really just smacks. She makes a lot of 5-star single target DPSs look bad in comparison. This is a very easy one for me. Very, very easy one. And I that's definitely not even biased. Anyone who's ever used her, especially post-Castoria meta, and that MP buff knows just how ridiculous she is. She's a train that basically just doesn't stop, just keeps on going, slaps people, and suplexes everyone, so... An easy EX in my opinion. One of the best 4 stars in the game. Definitely top 5 4 stars of all the classes in the game. Easy. And hey, she's permanent as well, so getting MP levels is not insanely difficult, I would say. I would know, because even my JP one is MP5, fun fact. 5-star disguised as a 4-star. I agree, honestly. So yeah, this is a cool one, honestly. I guess is this the latest one in the entire list? It might be, actually, yeah. I think she's the latest one of these classes. So, another welfare. Da Vinci Summer Lily. Ruler, whatever you want to call her. Very interesting. So, she is kind of a single target buster DPS, right? But I want to say she's more of a support. Oh yeah, Ranmaru was newer, right? True, my bad. True. But I want to say she's more of a support than a DPS, honestly. Attack is not insanely high, but it's definitely okay. 9.1k with the ruler modifier is good. Double buster, double arch deck, I think makes sense. It's nice for the gains and for a bit of damage potential too. Can't really comment too much about the gains because I haven't used her that much, but someone in the chat can probably. Maybe Jordanian is here, I know he uses her a lot. Anyway, the skills though. This is a great skill. So it's a very similar skill to Kadon, for instance. It's a targeted rainbow buff, 20% each for 3 turns. But the difference is that this has a 1 turn lower cooldown. Granted, they're not as high on numbers, but still, honestly, I think this is a better skill. I prefer the uptime to a higher number on the rainbow buff. So I think this is a slightly better version of the skill that Kadon has. So, pretty good skill, I would say. Just a very consistent buff, right? Because they're always, no matter who you buff, they're going to be using, you know, colored cards anyway, right? So, there you go. Simple but great skill. Yeah, Kadon is 10% higher on the number, but higher cooldown. But I do prefer this, honestly, because of the uptime being better. Now, another targeted skill, so it's a 20% battery and 30% MP generation for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. Another pretty solid skill. I like it. I like that the FX also synergize really well. Solid, just very solid. And then the third skill is a slightly modified version of the one she has on her Rider version, but arguably this might be better. You obviously don't get the battery anymore, but you do get a 20% crit chance down for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. And honestly, for a lot of challenge quests, you might want this over the 10% battery. Otherwise, I think it's the same, right? So 20% MP damage for party 3 turns is pretty solid, and then overcharge your party by 1 stage. I wish this was also 3 turns, because it makes it slightly awkward, because you immediately want to use your MPs with this, because you kind of want the other effects, because they have a good uptime. You want them to be constantly out there, but sometimes, depending on who you pick, you might want to value the OC a bit more. So sometimes it's a bit awkward to use the skill, because this is only a 1-turn thing, but still, a great skill once again, honestly. And yeah, I was about to get to that. All of her skills are on a 5-turn cooldown. That's just solid. Like, and the uptime is good as well. Like, she's just a pretty solid supporter. Very nice. And then the passives. Riding EX doesn't really do a whole lot, but it's cute to have, I guess. Item construction A doesn't help too much, but it's nice to be able to land this more consistently, because you do want to land it against bosses, because she's definitely not a farmer by any means. Magic Resist B is nice as a bonus. Alter Ego damage, not really relevant. And then the MP. Now, it is RNG based, but the good news is that no matter what effect you get, chances are any single one of them is always going to be useful. Unlike a certain other RNG welfare that, you know, sometimes your effect might be useless. But anyway, so, you have 3 options. You get either 30 Star Bomb, love it, 20% party gauge, great, or 20% party attack for 3 turns, also great. Like, these are some great buffs once again, on top of an already stacked skill set, right? And I guess her OC is not bad either. It helps her own damage by giving her 20% MP damage for 1 turn before damage. And with a free MP5, she's not even bad for damage. She's just really good, like a very good modern welfare. Definitely like a top 10 welfare in the game. Maybe even top 5, honestly. She's really good. I think an A+ is very much deserved. Look at the list so far, it's pretty funny actually. Not intended, but yeah. Interesting. Very nice. Deserved, I agree. She's good. The one downside I have to say, her animations are pretty loud. So, you know, sometimes ear damage can be a thing. I don't know why they're so loud. Right. I think Jordanian has been waiting for this. His #1 favorite, right? Pretty classic at this point, I suppose. We got Gorgon. AoE Buster, definitely a DPS more so than a farmer. You can do farming with her, but it's not pretty because you do need double Oberon. So, and even then, it's... for most people, she wouldn't even do massive damage. But hey, I do think she still has a place, a pretty okay place as a DPS at least. So, first of all, we can't ignore that 10.7k attack, which, by the way, that's the highest attack for a 4-star in the entire game, even all these years later. So, that's a pretty great start, huh? Actually, just the highest attack for any 4-star in the game. I think Herc was #2, right? Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Higher than Jinako, yes. Now, double Buster, double Arts deck. I almost kind of wish she was triple Buster because of the skill buff as well. But I don't think the deck is that bad, honestly. But I kind of almost wish she was full gorilla mode. Okay, are really good. I guess they are not bad, honestly. Obviously, the number itself can be a bit misleading because it's very low. But if you look at her 2 arts cards with 5 hits each, yeah, it's definitely looks really good. So, yeah. Now the skills. So this is why I kind of wish she had triple buster. So they buffed her monster strength, so it's still a 5-turn cooldown, but now the attack buff of 50% is for 4 attacks or 2 turns, whichever happens first. So a full Brave Chain would obviously consume this. And also now includes Buster Absorb, 600% for 1 turn. It helps for sure, because she was lacking Absorb in her kit, because she kind of wants to crit as well once we see the second skill, but... 1, I don't like that this is only a 1-turn effect, and 2, it's not a high number. For an Avenger, I would prefer it to be 4 digits, because 600% might not guarantee you stars at all, honestly, depending on who your other units are. So, it's a step in the right direction, but I wish it was 3 turns of Absorb and that she would have a triple Buster deck. Obviously, they're not going to change decks, though. But hey, this is actually not bad. It's just a better mana burst, basically, in most cases. Obviously, a Brave Chain just consumes it, but hey, you might be able to use it on 2 different turns sometimes, I suppose. Now, the second skill, Self Guts, 1 time, 5 turns, 7-turn cooldown, so that's, you know, a very standard Guts, but it is a better than a standard Guts because it also includes 50% crit damage. It is annoying that it's on this skill because the cooldown is high because of the Guts, so the uptime on that crit damage is not good by any means, but it's still a better Guts than, you know, a standard Guts for sure, I suppose. Yeah, that's true, Joladian. I was about to get to that. So yeah, the third skill, single target Petrify. It's a special stun that ignores stun resistance and, you know, I guess also stun success rate up. But it's not like she really needs it because level 10 is base 105% chance. Obviously, debuff rest still comes into play and whatnot, but more often than not, you will actually land this. And on a 6-turn cooldown, it's among one of the better single target stuns, I would say. I wish it had something else too, but it's not a terrible skill still. Definitely not a terrible skill. There is one awkward part though, because a lot of the times you want to bring her against multiple enemies, right? Because she is AoE on her MP as well. So being able to only stun 1 target is kind of awkward. But not a terrible skill by any means. Avenger passives and that's it. Pretty... I guess this at least is a high rank, so that's cool. A near 4% MP gauge per turn is not bad at all. Rider bonus, sure. And the MP has been buffed, which is good, because God knows it was a noodle before this. So, AoE damage, and then a party 15% battery. Very great normal effect, actually. That's a great normal effect. Helps her refund as well. And honestly, this is the only thing that enables her to buster farm as well. Even though it's not pretty. And then sadly, we have a curse. That's just unfortunate. Yeah, I agree, Jordanian. It would be so much cooler if they reversed the effects. Like, this should be a normal effect, and this should be an OC scaling effect. It wouldn't make a big difference, but it would make way more sense that way. But oh well. At least with a buff, it still does a bit of damage. But let's be real. She's a story-locked servant still, so most people will at most have like MP 1 or 2. So I feel like even after the skill buff to the first skill... and the MP buff, she's still never gonna be like an amazing DPS or anything like that. And she's not super consistent either, because this Absorb is still on a big downtime, and this is also a big downtime on the crit damage. Although her gains are okay, so at least she can fire off MPs fairly often, I suppose. I feel like she's like B+, maybe? Because I'm trying to be realistic here. Obviously, Jordanian's Gorgon would be amazing, but I'm trying to think of, you know, the common people here, if anything. A lot of people don't even have her at all, actually, because again, story locked is a thing. But hey, she's a valid choice, I would say. Would like to see maybe at least one more buff. But at least the buffs that they have been doing have been, you know, kind of good for what she's supposed to do, so there's that. Could have been much worse buffs, I guess. Now, the next one, we got the Doggo. Now, unlike Gorgon, at least Doggo is permanent, I suppose. I still think I'll stick with the B+ short. I hope you can forgive me. Right, so single target quick DPS Avenger. Deck is interesting, I have to say. Double quick, double arts. I definitely think Lobo should have been double buster, double quick, because also has some crit potential. But yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of the deck. Right, so attacks 10.6k is obviously insanely high for a 4-star, so that's great. Very close to Gorgon's number, I guess. Gains are not great though. Here I can say from experience his gains are not that good. Obviously if you get like crazy overkill crits with good cards, then obviously anything can look good. But besides that, on average the gains are not that strong. I guess it's worth noting that the star gen can be at least okay, especially if you get a full quick chain with the MP. Then you can at least get some stars, but even then, on average that's not amazing either. So the first skill, self-absorb up, at least this one is 4 digits, so 1200%, and then defense up 40% for 1 turn. It's actually his only defensive skill as well, so yeah, he tends to be a bit fragile sometimes, sadly. And also the up-down time is pretty big, but hey, both effects make sense. Even if it not might be the best combo, but both are good effects for him, I guess. Not an amazing skill, but it's okay. Second skill, unlike Gorgon, he doesn't have as good of a monster strength, sadly. So this is only a 2-turn attack, up 30%, 5-turn cooldown, so definitely a below average DPS buff. One enemy, instant kill resistance down 50%, 1 turn, yeah, no one cares. But 30% attack down, 1 turn, and then a full buff strip. Those are good things at least. So it's still a pretty okay skill, because I like the buff strip on command, and then the attack down is not bad. I wish it was 3 turns though, but whatever, it's still okay. So overall, his kid could use a buff, I'm not gonna lie, could definitely use a buff. Not the worst, but could use a buff. Avenger passives on pretty high ranks as well actually, so not bad. Then the MP has been buffed, which is cool. So first of all, ignore evasion for 1 turn before damage, I like. And then they also added a crit damage self, 20% 3 turns, which again, a bit more synergy with the first skill. So, not bad, I guess. Maybe not the effect I would have added, but oh well. And then OC is instant kill, which is, you know, whatever, no one cares. It's just bad. It's just not good. But hey, that actually does okay damage. Not amazing damage, but okay damage. And I do prefer that he is single target over AoE, I suppose. Where do I place Lobo? I want to say B. I want to just say B. I don't think he's like amazing or anything like that, but he's okay. He's just okay. Yeah, I think I would place him under Gorgon for sure, yeah. There you go. He's a good boy though. Now, I guess this is the actual latest of these 3 classes we've seen to be added into the game. We got Ranmaru. So, AoE, Arts, Avenger, DPS, and Farmer. Pretty okay for both. 9.8k attack. Very solid. Like it. Double Buster, double Arts deck, I'm also okay with. Gains I'm not entirely sure of, because I only mainly used her during the Gura 6 event. But, you know, feel free to give me input on how good her gains are. Well, I guess the fact that she could actually MP loop means that the gains are not terrible, but, yeah. I'm talking like, you know, face carding and whatnot here. Speed says not really good, huh? Alright. So, targeted first skill. One ally gets 5k absorb for 1 turn. And 50% crit damage. And cleanses their debuffs. 4 turn cooldown. Actually better than most of skills of this type. Not amazing, but better than most of them. definitely alright. A lot of people are saying different things about the gains, huh? Not surprised. So, 40% chance to AoE charm for 1 turn. Hate that, but you know, sometimes it's alright. 20% defense down for 3 turns on a 6 turn cooldown. Not the best, but it's okay because you also get the 10 stars. So, still, I would say an alright skill. Nothing crazy good, but definitely pretty okay. Alright, self arts up 30%, 3 turns, good. 20% battery, yeah. And then 10 stars again on a 6 turn cooldown. This is a pretty good skill. This is definitely a good skill. Which also enables her to go burr as well, which is good. Now, she has the Avenger passives as well. Although I guess she is missing one of them because, well, not missing, but it's an altered version. So the MP gauge per turn also includes, say, 3% arts up for her. So it's just better, I guess. Why not? She has the Foreigner passive as well, which is cool. So a bit more debuff rested stars, never hurts. Magic Receipt is also nice, and then also immune to burns. So those are some pretty poggin passives. What can I say? That's a pretty damn loaded passive kit. Keep in mind she's a welfare too. That's kind of nuts. This would be like an Ssr passive list here. Oof. Right, the MP then. Normal effect includes ignoring defense, which is always good to have. And then before damage, you get star generation 100% base for 1 turn on the OC. It still probably won't end up mattering too much because it is an arts MP despite having 4 hits because art still doesn't generate too well. But depending on what your follow-up cards are, you can actually get a good chunk of stars. The MP itself probably will not generate that much though. But hey, potential is there with a good Brave Chain. Yeah, she's a good servant, huh? Yeah, she's pretty damn good. So in terms of looping, this is what it looks like then. Double Castoria. You can't sadly go from 0, so you do need a 50%er. But even then, her damage is just a better Salieri basically, right? Which makes sense. I mean, why would it not be better? So, yeah. And everyone gets her free MP5 for so. Yeah, I feel like A+ is pretty fair, right? What do you guys think? She's pretty good. Great for farming. Maybe not the best DPS ever, but I like the utility and the farming is really great. She's like a budget Space Star Summer Kama. Oh, you probably use those two if you had them, but hey, she's still a great option if you don't have them. For sure. And she's cute as hell. Which I will not give points for, but I just wanted to say that, okay? Right, moving on. Oh, right, it's the first Moon Cancer. And will be for a while because the rest are SSRs will be at the end of the list. But yeah, another welfare. OGBB. Single target arts DPS with some team utility as well. 8.1k attack is sadly not that high. In fact, it's pretty low for a 4-star. Oh well. Double arts, double quick. Doesn't make the most sense to me. Not sure why she has double quick. I guess it's still better gains in case they didn't want to give her triple arts, but oh well. Maybe double buster would have made sense as well because she has a bit of crit potential too, right? I don't know. Kind of weird deck, but hey. The gains are still not bad, especially if you get a full arch chain. Her skills are actually not bad even to this day. So, single target buff removal, heal, and debuff immune 1 time 3 turns on a 4-turn cooldown. That's a solid defensive utility skill, actually. Not bad at all. Very great synergy with the effects too. Also, shout out to this skill alone is the reason that Fran can loop. This skill right here. Honorary mention for that. Now, remove 1 evasion or invul from an enemy and then stun them. Base 100% chance for 1 turn, 6-turn cooldown. So it's a better than average stun for sure. Not amazing, but better than average, which is kind of cool, I guess. Third skill, there's the crit potential, like I said. So I guess this is why I wanted like double buster, double arts instead of double quick. So it's the same as, you know, it's the good old self-mod. It's still a great crit skill to this day, honestly. Great uptime and the effects are just full-on synergy. So 50% crit damage, 800% absorb, 3 turns. What's there not to like? It's a good crit skill. Still one of the better ones in the game. Magicker's B, nice. Debuff success rate up. Not the most meaningful thing, but I guess it's actually very nice for the stun as well, now that I think about it, to make it even more guaranteed. This is very great, obviously. The permanent 10% arts up. Alter ego damage doesn't really make sense. Well, I'm talking gameplay-wise here. The MP then. So a party 20% battery is amazing as a normal effect. That is just flat out amazing. The OC, not so amazing though. So it's a single target debuff is down, base 10% for 3 turns. So, doesn't really matter that much. But hey, that normal effect though is huge. And with the free MP5, despite not really having anything in her kit that would increase her damage, her MP still does okay damage. Now here's the thing about BB. This is what I did last year as well on the 4-star list. Obviously, her best case scenario is against Avengers, right? I think she's EX tier against Avengers, for sure. But I can't fully rate her like that, because how often do we fight Avengers? It's so rare. Like, it would be kind of lame for me to say, like, oh, she's top tier because she's, like, god tier against Avengers. So, I will be sliding her down to A because of that, I think. If you're not fighting an Avenger, she's not amazing. Like, her damage is kind of meh, but I do like what she brings to the table, at least. But against non-Avengers, the damage is just not that great, honestly. But hey, again, in case someone fast forwards to this part, if she is Avengers, there you go. Easy EX, right? Only in that case. I mean, yeah, you probably wouldn't, Vish. That's the thing. That's the thing. She's a hyper DPS support while looking at damage. I'm not! Dude, if I only looked at damage, she would be like here. What the fuck are you talking about? Dude, A is a high rating. What are you talking about? It's taken into account that she is actually a good utility support. She would be way lower if I was only looking at damage. Come on, bro. Come on. A is very fair in my opinion. Alright. I guess now we already got 5 stars, huh? Jeez. Well, there's a lot of them, so... The good old reliable, huh? Now, some people will be disagreeing with me here as well because of, you know, reasons, but... Let's just look at her first. We got Jannu. The OG ruler, day 1 servant, a stall support, if you will. You can use her as a generic, you know, defensive support as well, but mostly used in stalling, if anything. Honorary mention to being able to solo some stuff as well, I guess. Now, what do we got? Attack is low, which is great because you don't want her to do damage anyway. You want her HP to be high. It's even better in combination with her class being the best class in the game, especially defensive-wise. Gains are not amazing, but not bad. It's great that she obviously has triple arts, so that already helps a lot because, you know, you can participate in a lot of arts chains anyway. And easy chains with her MP too. Great. Some of these skills are really sad though. Unlike a certain other ruler we're gonna see very soon, these are sad in comparison. So first skill, 9 stars per turn for 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown. No, just no. That is weak. Not this day and age, okay? The second skill luckily was buffed because it was never that good. It had some use, but hey. So now it's no longer requires a servant enemy. Now you can do it on any enemy. So it's still the same minus 30% MP damage 1 turn, but on any enemy. And now also comes with minus 20% defense for 1 turn and 30% for 3 turns. So she adds a bit of a punch to your team, I guess. Not sure if this was the buff I was gonna give her, because I almost would have preferred to make her even more defensive utility oriented, but it's actually a good skill now. This is a great skill on a 5-turn cooldown. Maybe not the best buff choice for her in particular, but the skill itself is good. Yeah. Because you're damaging great outside Avenger, guys. Yeah, I know, but I can't put myself to rate BB based on Avengers only when it's so niche. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. But again, I did say that if you're fighting Avengers, she's EX for sure. But we fight Avengers once a year. Like, I can't do it. I can't. That's way too rare, man. It's just not common at all. I can't place her on EX because of that, okay? I'm sorry. Even if you simp beep, I'm sorry, dude. I can't do it. I can't do it. It's too rare. It's like a niche on an MP. It's the same thing. Alright. Third skill. Very high chance to stun, but it has to be an enemy servant. But hey, it's actually still an okay stun because it goes up to 120%, so that's really cool. Not great, but not terrible. Magic Res EX, love it. Ruler bonus, why not? And then the MP used to be not great, but now it's really damn good. So, party invul 1 turn, party defense up 3 turns. This is weird scaling. I always thought this was weird. Why does it triple from MP1 to MP2? This is way too low for MP1. It's a 5% defense up for MP1, and then it goes to 15 on MP2. This makes no sense. This should be 10% base. This is some year 1 game design bullshit again. Again, this makes no sense whatsoever. Also a full party cleanse, love it. And then healing base 1k for every turn for 2 turns. One of the best defensive MPs in the game for sure. I don't think anyone is going to argue about that. Yeah. I knew where I was going to place her already. She's A+ still. Still. Sure, you might not have the most need for her in a Castoria-dominated meta, but she's always going to be that good old reliable that just works. She still really just works, okay? She's never going to go anywhere, okay? Even if you have options, she's always there as a very solid option. So, to me, John is definitely an A+. A+ is very high, so be it. I think it's very fair. Hey, Jello. Right. Oh, the next one. Now, here's where people will really disagree with me, but I don't care. If you saw my list, SSR list last year, you know exactly what's gonna happen here. Right, so, Amakusa. Very awesome servant. AoE Buster DPS. Can do farming as well, but definitely a challenge quest god is what he is. 10.9k attack is actually not bad at all. It's around average, taking the ruler modifier into account. Now, double Buster, double Arch deck. Makes perfect sense in my opinion. Can do a full Buster Brave Chain with the MP, but also, you know, keeps his MPs rolling, which is good because his MP is insanely strong. And the gains also are not bad, and his kit helps a lot with that too. So the skills. So unlike John, he has seen buffs to everything. He's one of the only servants that has been buffed 4 times. All 4 of his things, the MP and the skills. So, single target. Target gets 10 stars per turn for 3 turns. And then 30% MP gain for 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown. Very solid. Just very solid. Much better than what it used to be. Love that MP gain. Second skill also buffed, and this is so good now. Oh my god. So it's a guaranteed drain. It used to be a very niche one that really didn't work at all. Now it's on any enemy. Wow. AoE Buster is down for 5 turns, 20%. Yeah. 20% battery self. Yeah. 20% gauge every turn for 5 turns. Yes. 8-turn cooldown is very fair, considering 2 of these are 5-turn effects as well. This is a really, really bonkers skill, man. It's so bonkers. God damn, dude. Man, what a busted skill. And then the third one is also good. So it's the same as John. A bit lower chance to stun, but still goes up to 100% on base, which is good. But this one also comes with a 30% buster up for 3 turns on self, which is good to add him a bit more damage. What a skill set nowadays. Look at this skill set. Now that is sexy. Oh boy. Magic Rosé. Great. And then the MP has also been buffed, so this is really... You know what I'm thinking about this. An AoE buff removal before damage. That's so good. That's like... That's one of the best normal effects in the entire game for an MP. It's so good. And they buffed the OC as well, so it's a 30% base for crit chance down for 3 turns. Man, what a crippling MP. Like, this is CQs, like EX for CQs, man. God damn. His damage might not be the best even after all these buffs, is not bad by any means, but man, look at what he does. He does everything. He just does everything. He's just nuts. Wow, Amakusa in 2022, huh? Even in 2021. Again, feel free to disagree with me, but I knew where I was going to place him way before this. It's the same as last year. I'm not changing it. I'm not changing it. He is that good for challenge quests. So good. And he's very tanky as well, yes. Who would disagree with that? Well, you clearly didn't see the list last year. People called me fucking crazy. I mean, sure, that was before Buster supports where the big ones were introduced again, but still, I was defending that last year as well. People called me crazy. People said I was losing it, okay? So you'd be surprised, man. I'm sure some people are going to disagree with this one still, but whatever. I'm okay with that. Next one is a really cool one. Actually, one of my favorite units in this entire list. We got Sherlock. So, he's a DPS support and a bit of a DPS himself. He's a very interesting case. A very utility-focused support here. So, an Arch MP as well. Attack is not bad. It's alright. Double Arts, double Quick. I feel like double Buster, double Arts would have been nicer, but, you know, at least he can still do an Arch Chain, which is cool. Gains are actually not bad. They're totally fine, so that's cool. Even can give you some stars sometimes. Now the skills. I love this buff. This is a great buff. This is a great buff. So, and single target MP seal 1 turn, love it. 20% AoE arts rest down for 3 turns and a 5 turn cooldown and 20 stars. Wow. Wow, that is a great skill, man. Wow, what a buff. Adding that arts rest down with a good uptime on AoE. Yeah, that's really good, man. This is a really top tier skill now. Second skill. Self-absorb up 600% and debuff immune for 3 turns and a 5 turn cooldown. So yeah, he can kind of take care of himself pretty well most of the time. This is enough basically because ruler base is 100, so this number, it doesn't have to be like 4 digits. It's a bit awkward because I don't think he really has massive crit focus outside of his MP and this, but yeah, sure. I guess because the MP does buff crit damage, they wanted him to have absorb maybe. But it's still an okay skill, I would say. Nothing crazy, but okay. Third skill, his good old, you know, reliable. I do love that it's a 1 turn evasion or 5 turn cooldown though. So that already is better than average for evasion skills. And it also comes with a massive 50% arts up for 1 turn. And keep in mind what I said earlier, right? And a lot of these old mana bursts for arts tend to be 40%. So it's already better than that. And comes with an evasion. So it's a great skill. Like the effects are really good. But it's awkward to use sometimes is the problem, right? Because these effects are like the opposite. So yeah. But it's a great skill still. Territory Creation EX is amazing. Again, would be cool if you had triple arts, but oh well, but it's still very good. Berserker bonus, why not? And then the MP. I said it again, take a shot. So. God damn it. Disconnected by earbuds again. Alright. AoE defense down 3 turns on enemy, 30% on MP1. Not too bad. And then party ignores invul and defense for 3 turns. That's great utility, man. Really great. Goes through evasion, goes through invul, goes through defense up. Doesn't matter. And then 50% base crit damage for 3 turns on that OC. For the full party. It's a great offensive MP, man. What could I say? It's still great. Sherlock is nice. I feel like he's underrated. I don't think he gets enough love, honestly. I think I'm honestly gonna place him in A+. I think he's well worth it. He's definitely... I love the first skill buff as well. Is he a support or DPS? I want to say he's a support first and foremost, but you can do DPSing with him as well. Just don't expect miracles for damage. But yeah, I would say first and foremost, you bring him for that support utility. A+ kind of high. I think it's fair. I think he's really good. Like these 2 buffs are needed a lot of the times. Well, not needed, but they make your life a lot easier. And sometimes they really are needed, depending on the boss or whatnot. So, yeah. Great stuff. Oh man, this is also a controversial one, isn't it? We got First Emperor Shihuang, the Kid Shihuang, Qin maybe, I don't know how his name is pronounced. I just always call him First Emperor, Shikote, whatever you want to call him. Mothbad. Actually, yeah, we have it on playing on stream right now. You can't hear it on YouTube, but we actually have the Mothman song playing right now. That's pretty funny. Timing. So what is he? He's a single target crit DPS. Crit buffer DPS, I suppose. Similar to like Super Orion or Van Gogh or Hozoin or etc. etc. Now, the first thing though, sadly his attack is very low. This was a problem with a lot of Lost Belt 3 servants. Not sure why they decided to give them so shitty attacks, right? It's really weird. That is a very low attack. 9.9k, whatever. Double Buster, double Art Stick, I think is perfect because, you know, it's both happy for crits, which is his main DPS source, and then also helps with his MP uptime as well, which is really important because his MP is really good. The gains on paper, though, not that good, but they can be fine. Granted, you can feed him enough stars to, you know, keep his damage and gains going, but on base, they're not that good. Now, the skills. I love the AoE Drain. That's great. Love that every time. And then AoE defense down 3 turns, 20% on a 6-turn cooldown. I think is a fair skill. Definitely a very fair skill. Does what it needs to do and not bad by any means. Second skill. Don't like that it's an AoE 70% chance to stun for 1 turn. You'll still get a stun or 2 for sure, unless, you know, really unlucky, but yeah. Would prefer guaranteed, obviously. And then self-attack up 30% for 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown. Also, again, another fair skill, I would say. Also not bad. And then the third skill. It's a good battery. So, a 50% battery and 6-turn cooldown is pretty standard, but it also offers cleanse for self and up to 3k healing on self, so not bad. It's a good skill. And it's really good because you want his MP to be often... or up very often. It's a very good MP. It's like what makes him tick. Magic Resist I wish was a little bit higher, but oh well. And then the MP. Okay, that's a lot of stuff. So, first of all, self-invo 1 turn and then a taunt for that turn. So, I'm an amazing combo for sure. Then on MP1, you get 50% crit damage for self 3 turns. Not too bad. And then also 300% absorb for 3 turns. I wish this was like 500 or 600% to be honest. It still might not guarantee you anything, but I like that there at least is some kind of absorb. And then OC is a base 50% attack up for 3 turns, which is a really strong OC. Really strong. So what can I say? This is the thing that makes him go, you know, do all this stuff. Obviously, you want to use him mostly against single target bosses, because that's where this taunt plus invul combo really shines. He's not that amazing against multiple guys, although it is a bit awkward because 2 of his skills want to fight more than 1 enemy, I suppose, but... And I'm not saying he's useless when it's multiple bosses, or bosses that are not single target, but definitely preference for single target bosses. Now, hear me out here. I think he's A+. I don't think I can place him in EX, because he's not the most consistent thing out there. Because here's the thing. If he doesn't crit, he doesn't do any damage. It's not good. His damage is not good if he doesn't crit. And you will need to do a lot of heavy setuping to make him crit consistently as well. Because he himself doesn't really... Like, he doesn't have a star bomb himself. He doesn't have stars per turn or anything like that, so... But you can make him really good, obviously, if you get the right supports. So, and also there are some situations where he's also a very decent soloer too, which is worth mentioning. So, yeah, if they ever add like a stars per turn buff on him, I think he might just be EX. That would be so good on him. That's why a lot of people run stuff like 20-30 on him, despite it being no damage at all. But, you know, because if he doesn't crit, he just doesn't do any damage. That's the thing. He needs to crit. So, yeah. But very good potential. And can save your ass on a lot of bosses, I suppose. Great servant. Ooh, the next one. Ooh, boy. Bunny Toria. Man. Summer 4, huh? So AoE, Buster, DPS, and a Farmer is what we're looking at. And I have to say, not the best in either of them, honestly. Pretty average-ish to okay, I would say. Anyway, 9.5k attack, much like First Emperor, or actually more than him, is ridiculously low for a 5-star. That is a tragedy and a half. That is an insult, and people should not stand by that, but it is what it is, so whatever. Now, double Buster, double quick doesn't make any sense to me. Why is there double quick? It should be triple Buster or double Arts double Buster, in my opinion. I just don't see why she has double quick. It's kind of weird. I guess I know why it is, actually. It's because of... okay, fine, there's the FA. It's because of Lancer having double quick, right? That's basically the reason she has it too, which definitely hurts here, in my opinion. I don't think it was even a great deck for Lancer either, to be honest. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure about the gains, though. It's been a while since I've used her, but yeah, otherwise not that hot upstairs. Besides this, but yeah, I was talking about numbers, okay? Okay. So, self-battery, 40%. That's an interesting number, huh? Yeah, okay. Also, evasion for 1 turn and 6 turn cooldown, so that's pretty much the standard. And then a delayed attack buff. So after 1 turn, you get 30% attack. This is pretty awkward, I'm not gonna lie. For her setups and whatnot, this is definitely pretty awkward. It's not a bad skill by any means. I still think this skill is actually fine, all things considered. Slightly awkward to use sometimes because of the evasion with the offensive stuff, but still an alright skill for sure. But man, it's like the numbers and the delay and... yeah. Oh well. Second skill has actually been buffed, so... it's an interesting one. So it's a full card shuffle. Like you re-deal your entire hand, which resets the cycle as well. Now, what the buff did is that you target one ally and you will not get their cards guaranteed. Otherwise, it was just a full shuffle and there was nothing you can do about it. It was fully random. But now you can target one of your allies and at least eliminate 5 cards from the pool immediately, which makes it a bit more consistent, which I like. So it's a good buff, I would say. And then also you get 50% party crit damage for 3 turns on a 5-turn cooldown. That's great. And then 30% party MP generation for 1 turn. Yeah, the cooldown also came down. So yeah, honestly, nowadays, actually a fairly good skill. Also very nice. I would say this is a nice skill. Makes your crits more consistent too. Now, self-attack up 40% for 3 turns is great. And then absorb only for 1 turn on a 6-turn cooldown. So it does hurt a little bit. But not a bad skill. I like the 40% attack up. That's pretty huge. Yeah, I was about to get to that, Rish. But I'll talk about it soon. Magic Rosé is great. Again, this even further makes no sense that she has the double quick. This arts buff. Because she only has 1 arts card now. It's weird. Then the MP. It's actually a good MP, I would say. So ignore defense is great, and then there is another 20%. It's sadly not team battery, but it is a 20% self battery. So it's the good old Arturia thing, right? Which again enables her to even do any good farming to begin with, I guess. Then you get a rainbow buff for 1 turn, 20% each base before damage on the OC. It's a pretty good MP, I would say, but honestly, it's never been buffed, and a lot of people don't even have a high MP levels, and even at high MP levels, you'd be surprised, despite her kit having a lot of damage in it, it doesn't do a lot of damage. It just doesn't do a lot of damage. You think it would do, right? There's a lot of offensive buffs in this kit and everything. A lot of them. But it just doesn't do a lot of damage. She needs an MP buff or something. Like, it's weird. She just doesn't do much damage. Like, if you look at the numbers here, like in Buster looping, where is she? There we go. Like, here's the options. You have double Witch, which you can do because of the MP having a refund in the battery. But even like double Witch Oberon, like, look at the damage on the first 2 waves. Sure, the 3rd wave is fine, but 50k, 60k? It's weak. It's just weak. Like, these are not great numbers for an SSR Buster Looper. It's like very lacking. It just doesn't make any sense, right? It's weird. Just She's not the greatest DPS either, to be honest. I feel like she's like B tier, honestly, as brutal as that looks like. I could maybe see a B+, but I don't think I could even place her in A, honestly. She needs an MP buff for sure. That would solve a lot of her problems. She is ruler though, so I'm tempted to put her into B+, but maybe I'll be a bit savage here, because I really want to see her MP buffed as well. Yeah, I think I'll stick with B. Maybe shift later or something. Do I share the looping seat? You can ask about that later if you want. Ooh, the next one though. Ooh, baby. One of my Grail targets as well. Ooh, we got Queen Hibiko. Okay, so she's a very interesting one. She has a lot of different use cases, and I had to do a lot of research on her because I haven't even had her on JP for that long because I failed the first time around. But anyway, what do we got? We got basically a Buster crit DPS herself, a Buster crit DPS support, and someone who can enable an unkillable comp. Those are like her three main uses. And she's not bad for any of those. Now, let's see. 10.6k attack is alright. It's not amazing by any means, but it's okay. At least the ruler modifier helps. Double Buster, double arts makes perfect sense in my opinion, because she also wants to do red damage, but also you want her MP to be up as often as possible, because it's a good MP. What's the unkillable comp? It's Merlin, her, and Castoria. There's many versions of it, but that's a really good one. That's like one of the best ones out there. Anyway, gains are also not bad either. They're actually pretty fair. So yeah, not too bad up here. Now this skill. Remember that Kets one earlier? This is just that on steroids. This is a ridiculous skill. So it's the same 20% attack up for party for 3 turns and a 5-turn cooldown, but now everyone gets the star buff, so everyone will generate 8 stars per turn for 3 turns. So every turn you get 24 stars from this skill, and it's a 3-turn effect on a 5-turn cooldown. How good is that? How ridiculous is that? Like, oh my god. Like, it might not seem that good at first, but then you realize just how good this skill is ridiculous. That's more than 2 MLB 2030s on really good uptime as well. This is an EX tier skill right there, and definitely the best charisma in the game. Well, I guess Castoria might take it, but whatever. Up there as one of the best charismas in the game, but yeah, this is redonkulous. Makes perfect sense for her playstyle as well, for all of them. Because, you know, crits enable more unkillable MPs, they enable more Buster crit damage for her and for her allies as well, so yeah. Now, the third skill, Self Buster up 30% 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown is alright. And then Demonic damage for Self for 3 turns, 50% also is alright. And then Invul for 1 turn Self. So, it's a bit awkward again with the combo of the defense and the offensive, but I would say still a pretty fair skill. I wish it was like Divine instead of Demonic, but at least Demonic is still something you do see in bosses. So, it's not like it's Demon, like on Martha's case. So, still an alright skill for sure. And the third skill, big one as well, 50% battery, 6-turn cooldown, the standard, but also enables Self to basically deal a lot of red damage by giving absorb and crit damage for your red cards for 1 turn. 500% absorb and 100% crit damage. So yeah, she can actually hit pretty hard herself given the correct stuff. But because she's also reliably giving you stars as well, it's not unrealistic to get a good punch going with her as well. And this is obviously very vital, because you want her MP to be up, especially if you're doing unkillable. Magic Rosé, love it. This is cool, because she actually has the double arts cut, unlike Bunny Toria. And then might as well be immune to poison and curses, I guess. Because honestly, against enemies, dots are terrible, but against players, they can sometimes be annoying. Especially a certain, you know, LB6 boss who's, you know, this type of dot can actually be the end of your run very fast. So that's cool. Foreigner bonus doesn't really make too much sense, but oh well. And then the MP, they cut up the shot. Oh my god. So, MP1, 30% buster up for your party, 3 turns. Pretty good. But man, the other normal effect tends to be the real focus here. So not only is it a party overcharge for 1 time 3 turns, which is very flexible, it's a 2-step overcharge. Not even 1, but 2. Like, some OCs nowadays in the game are ridiculous. Also 50% crit damage on base for 3 turns on that OC. Again, just these 2 effects are very good synergy for herself and for your teammates. But man, like, here's why the unkillable works, right? You have Merlin, Castoria, her. You do it in order of Hibiko, Merlin, Castoria. Hibiko has 100% MP, right? That's fine. She doesn't need the OC. It's mostly damage. It's nice to have, but for something like that, you don't need it. Merlin will have 400%. So that's already a lot of stars per turn. And then Castoria, just from that simple combo, is 500%. Just from a triple MP combo, you get 5 hits of special invo. Yeah, it's the reason why they call it the unkillable comp. Like, that's all. You don't need to do anything else. You don't need any other OC buff. You just do the MPs in that order, and no one will ever die. It's kind of nuts. It's a 2-step buff. It's so good. So good. I mean, she has to be up here. Obviously, you know, most OP in an unkillable comp, but even then, definitely don't sleep on her for damage or as a damage support or something in between them. Still definitely very, very legit. I will not put her into EX plus because it's, you know, like, even an unkillable comp is not 100% consistent. It's mostly consistent, but not 100%. But I will place her at EX for sure. She's definitely up there as a very great servant in the game. Next one is actually kind of cool nowadays after the buff. Sadly, I don't still have her, so this one is one of the hardest ones for me to place. I did do research on her because, you know, obviously I don't have her, so I had to do a little bit of research, but she looks really solid on paper now. So we get Karen, AoE, quick, DPS, and a farmer. Actually very great as a farmer as well. Sadly quick though, so the numbers are not the best, but still very good. 11.3k attack is pretty good. Nothing crazy, but again, pretty good. Double quick, double arts, I suppose makes sense. I don't think she needs like double buster, so I feel like the gain stick is fine for her. Also can do a full quick chain with the MP, which is also great for DPSing. Gains are also... Actually don't know. You guys let me know. They look good to me, but you let me know. I mean, I guess they're actually pretty good considering we're going to look at the kit as well, which helps a lot, so... This one already immediately helps. So she has really good skills actually as well. So, self-invul for 3 attacks, 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown is actually very solid as the first thing here. That's nice. Then you get a buff that steals 10% gauge from your allies every turn, if it can, and you get the amount stolen, basically. So every turn you can get up to 20% gauge from this. Granted, it is a steal. It's not like Amakusa who just gets 20%. She takes from your allies, but yeah. I feel like it's kind of fair because her MP is also pretty good. Then party invul for 1 attack, 3 turns, except self. So she gets the better version. The party gets the Harp of Healing version, I guess, which is, again, it's nice to have. And then party MP generation, but not herself for 20%. So it's kind of weird, I think. So it's a good skill overall, but man, there's some awkwardness in this skill for sure. But hey, it's a good skill still. Second skill, taunt for self with a 30% battery for self. Also AoE gauge down like First Emperor, love it. AoE attack down 20% 3 turns and AoE defense down 20% 3 turns. It's a hefty 7-turn cooldown, but man, those are great effects, all of them. So maybe it's worth it, honestly. Maybe it's worth the 7-turn cooldown. I like all of these effects for sure. Not a broken skill because of the cooldown, but still I would say a great skill as well. Then self rainbow buff 20%, 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown. Another self battery for 20%, and also another, this time single target gauge down for enemies. So she can really cripple an enemy's MP gains, huh? Overall, I think her kit is definitely modern and it shows. It's good. It's not the best I've ever seen, but it's definitely good. Item construction A is nice because she definitely has debuffs that you want to land. This is nice because, you know, She doesn't really have crit focus, but, you know, why not have just bonus crit damage anyway in a passive? It doesn't hurt. Now, this is a very unique passive. So, she reduces her own debuff rest by 20%, which you can't do anything about. It's always going to be there because it's a buff. But if she happens to be debuffed, she gets 20% attack up. So, it's a very interesting passive. I feel like it's definitely nice to have. It's an interesting one. Which is, I guess, a bit counterintuitive when you have this goddess essence as well. Oh, fuck, I clicked on it. Increasing her own resistance as well. So, a bit counterintuitive, if anything, but oh well. And then this passive, so terror, stun immunity, charm immune, and buster resistance 10% for self. Wow, that's a great passive. Wow, a very loaded defensive passive. Like her passives alone are like just EX tier as a whole. Wow. Black Ray also counts as a debuff. Oh, does it now? I never knew. Is that true? Is it considered like a damage over time debuff? Wow. Wow. Well, that's great for her because she could actually loop with the Black Grail then. Wow, that's actually great. I did not know that. Anyway, the MP was buffed, which is great because it wasn't the most damage dealing. So in addition to the damage buff, she now gets a chaotic damage modifier, the big version, 150% damage. So the MP can hit really hard, obviously, if you're fighting chaotic. Also, AoE quick rest down 20% 3 turns. It is after damage, but it's always nice to have. And buff block AoE 1 turn or 1 time 3 turns. Also a very nice debuff. And then a bit of MP damage, 10% based on the OC before damage for 1 turn. Yeah, it's a very good MP now. What can I say? Very good. Yeah, Karen is pretty damn legit. Her damage is still not the best, even if she can do like... She can still do, as you can see, double Scotty. She can do the Black Rail looping. But it's not necessarily enough for like 90 plus nodes either, sadly. But hey, she's still very good. And obviously as a DPS for CQs as well, very, very solid. So, yeah. I'm thinking A+, but I would maybe even see EX, to be honest, after the MP buff. What do you guys think? I'm thinking A+, but I wouldn't be too mad if she was EX as well, honestly. I almost just want to go with A+ still, because her damage is not always the best. I feel like on CQs, Amakusa does bring a bit more to the table. It's a tough one for sure. Yeah, if we ever get like a sick quick support, she might go to EX, honestly. I feel like that's maybe what the final nail would be. Because Quick still doesn't have the best options, let's be real. Yeah, should I make an A++ actually? What do you guys think? Maybe she's worth the A++ tier. Like between A+ and EX. Maybe that's what I should do in this case again. Yeah, maybe that's fine actually. I feel like that's fair. That's pretty fair. Alright, let me see. I'll use that one. Alright. Whoa. Oh, I'm messing up. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Fuck me, dude. Alright. There you go. Congrats, Karen. No one saw that? Okay, that's fine. Ooh, okay. We'll go. Okay, let's just move on. Okay, no one saw that. Alright, that's it for the rulers. It's a wrap. We won't be seeing any more of them until they release more, I guess. Now we're moving on to the Ssr Avengers. We got ya boy, who sadly has not aged super well either, but is a very fan favorite. I really like him too, to be honest. We got Dantes. AoE quick DPS, but definitely more known from his farming, I suppose. So, 12.6k attack is very, very high. That's great. Love it. Really good. Double Buster, double Quick Deck, I feel like makes sense, yes. Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think the deck is good. Gains, sadly, even with like Golden Rule active, unless you like crit, it's still not that great, honestly, as a DPS, so don't expect miracles. Star Gen can be okay, though, at least. Now the skills. So this is the better version of the skill that Charlotte also has. So it's an ignore interval for 1 turn on a 6-turn cooldown, not the best. 50% attack up for 1 turn, and debuff rest 32% for 3 turns. I feel like this is slightly weak though. This is definitely on the weaker side nowadays, especially like looking at the kits of like you know, Karen just now. Kind of pales in comparison, doesn't it? Yeah, for one turn effects is kind of weak. Not bad, but kind of weak. Now, I wish they buffed this skill because they have been buffing a lot of golden rules. So I mean, this is the only reason. I mean, this is the only reason he can loop in the to begin with, right? So at least there's that. So he can do loop farming because of this existing. But they should definitely buff this to include something cool, like an absorb and crit damage buff or something like that. Would be maybe something to look into. A quick buff maybe. There's options. And then the third skill, which I think is actually very solid. So it's a guaranteed drain, 20 star bomb, and self-cleanse on a 6-turn cooldown. I always thought this skill was pretty good. Nothing broken, but still a good skill even on 2022. This is his best skill by far. Not even close. Avenger passives. Sadly, his MP per turn is the lowest rank, but the scaling is the range is very low to begin with, so it's not a big deal. So it's like 3 to 4% no matter what. Avenger bonus, because weird. MP has been buffed luckily, but I don't like the buff though. I hate the buff because the only thing they changed besides the damage is give him a new normal effect that sucks, which is a curse amplifier for 5 turns. I also kind of wish the defense down for 3 turns on OC was before damage. Yeah. It's an okay MP, but definitely nothing. It's just an okay MP because the curse is kind of useless, and then the defense down is after damage. The damage buff is mostly what makes it. Oh, Dantes. Not the best TPS option, in fact, pretty weak for that, honestly, nowadays, but still farms alright, I guess. Could I still place him in A? I think I could, honestly, maybe. I can't even do A+, to be honest. I can't even put him on A+ nowadays. There's just so many better options out there. But he's not bad at what he does. You can still use him. For sure. Still fine. I really want to see that golden rule buff though. Oh man, the next one though. Okay. I bet some people have been waiting for this, huh? Alright, they were released very fast, you know, or very close to each other. There's Jolter. Jolter. Single target buster DPS. Attack, we all know it. It's ridiculously high. It's by far the highest in the entire game. So, you know, that's the one thing she really does, is still unrivaled. And I guess a 13.2k is stupid and it would never happen this day and age anymore. But, you know, it did. So I guess the Jolter fans are happy. Now, double buster, double art stick. I think makes sense. Honestly, I kind of would have preferred triple buster, but I don't think they were going to do that. But this is the second best option, if anything. Gains are not great, but not terrible. Self-mod, there it is again. Again, it's to this day, it's still a pretty good crit skill. Good uptime, and, you know, it's the good combo of crit damage and absorb. And absorb she needs, because, you know, Avengers, yikes. It's not as terrible as Berserkers, but it is bad. It is very definitely bad on the base. So yeah, the 800% is much needed for her to do any kind of crits consistently. Her charisma, which I don't like, I think it's very weak. It's basically a normal charisma in most cases. They should definitely make it so that she gets the second buff as well, but she doesn't, so it is whatever. It's just a very average skill at best. Definitely could use a buff as well, if anything. Yeah, it's not bad having double arts either, Seraph, no. It's fine. And then the third skill, her mana burst, that also is a 1 turn higher cooldown because you get a 1 turn invul, but also slap yourself in the face. Yeah, it's another awkward skill, isn't it? Very high downtime, and you know, the usage, the timing can be very awkward as well. Yeah, her kit doesn't look that appetizing anymore in 2022, I have to be honest. The MP is fine though, but man, these skills, yeah, they don't really do it to me too much anymore. Avenger passives, pretty high ranks, like it. I like that this is a 10% on the crit damage, good shit. the MP buffed luckily, so it's now actually pretty damn good. The OC sucks, that's for sure, but these normal effects are great, so it's a one-time buff block with no duration, so it's guaranteed gonna block something in case it lands or gets cleansed, so that's great. And a fat 30-star bomb is very nice, goes well with her crits. It's a good MP now. OC obviously sucks, but at least these are good effects. And the damage is not terrible. Even on lower MP, like, let's say you're not one of those guys that has a level 120 Jolter MP, 5 gold foes and everything. Even right now, you could, if you have a normal one, you can still do decent damage with the MP. I don't honestly know what to do with her. She's definitely not EX, but can I even place her in A+? I don't know. It's hard to say. It's really hard to say, man. I almost just want to place her in A, to be honest. I still think she could use another buff. She's fine as a crit DPS, honestly. Nothing wrong with there, but I don't think she's any particularly amazing or anything like that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe I can justify A+, because she does have really good synergy with someone like Vich, for instance. Maybe I can barely justify it, but I can't. This is as high as I can go. That's as high as I can go, because obviously she's really good with Vich. It's really good combo, but yeah. This is as high as I can go. And I feel like even this is slightly generous, but yeah. Congrats, Jolter fans. It's mostly because of support options, if anything. Yeah, I'll put her there. Yeah, sure. Okay. The next one, actually, some people might be shocked if they don't know any better, but we got Mao Nobu, who used to be one of the weakest SSRs in the game, but nowadays has a really solid role in the game as a Buster Farmer Extraordinaire. Still not the best DPS, I have to say, for like CQs and stuff, but man, Buster looping on this girl right here? It's pretty damn legit. Anyway, 12.6k attack, love it. That's really damn good. Full-on gorilla deck, which honestly I think is fine, which really makes me bummed out she has 0 absorb in her kit. If they ever add absorb in her kit, she could be a much better DPS as well. But yeah, the deck is fine as is, but it could be so much better if she had absorb as well. Gains suck, but no one cares about that. Now, the first skill is very interesting. It's a stacking attack buff. So on rank 10, for turn 1 you get 30% attack, turn 2 you get 50%, and then turn 3 you get 70% attack up, which makes for a insanely fat turn 3 MP. In fact, one of the fattest of all the Buster Loopers in the game. Top 3, right? I forgot what the actual ranking was, but she's definitely up there for the biggest turn 3 Buster Loop damage, which is in most part to do with this skill as well. It's ridiculous. And the one thing that's also noteworthy here, because your Buster Loop supports, they don't give you attack up. None of them do. So attack up is really good to have because it's another mixed buff, which means it's multiplied, right? So it's much better than like a Buster buff or an MP damage buff in this use case, basically. So kind of nuts. And then you burn yourself actually quite considerably. You get 10k, or not 10k, wow, that would be bad. 1k damage for self every turn for 3 turns. So this can actually be bad if you're DPSing sometimes. And then you also get Burning Field for 3 turns, which is, you know, a bit relevant later, I suppose. Then the second skill has also been buffed. This buff really doesn't make too much sense to me, honestly, but whatever. I like the invul and buff removal resistance, meaning it's a very, very solid and safe defensive option, so you won't be hit for that 1 turn guaranteed, basically, unless they have ignore invul. And then now, if you're on Burning Battlefield, you get 50% Sky attribute damage for 3 turns. Interesting buff. Not the most useful one out there, but oh well. They tried, I guess. They tried. This was the first attempt at them trying to make her better. And then this one also has been buffed, which makes all the difference in the world, because now she has a battery, which means ding 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 ding, she can do Buster farming. Okay, so 10 stars per turn for 3 turns and a 5 turn cooldown, not bad. 30% battery, great. And then also 30% Buster up for 3 turns on Burning Battlefield. Also keep clicking on this shit, which is good because you get it from here guaranteed, so it's a great combo. Wow, this skill is suddenly very good. It's very good. They just need to give her absorb now, and she's a much better DPS. But man, does she farm well, though. That's for sure. Avenger passives, pretty low ranks across the board, though. Then the MP. Okay, so you remove defensive buffs from divine targets before damage, which sometimes can play a part, I guess. And then you give him a burn as well, because, you know, everyone has to burn, I guess. And bonus damage to divine on the OC. So a lot of the times this MP is not that great, though, at least on DPS purpose. But, you know, despite not having a buff, because of the way her kit is and her high attack, she still does an insane amount of damage while buster farming, right? It's kind of nuts. And yeah, I guess their attempt at giving her absorb was Nobukatsu, but it's stupid that you have to bring a second unit to fix something for a unit that should have been there from the get-go, right? It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, obviously I should note that Nobukatsu is a good support option, but it's just so stupid that you have to bring someone to fix something that should be there already, right? Just counterintuitive. Someone is calling me right now. What the fuck? No thanks. Okay, I have a list to do. Excuse me. So yeah, if you take a look at the numbers here as well, in case you were curious. So with double Witch Oberon, pretty legit. It's sadly still not the best, obviously, for like the first 2 turns, but she can absolutely do good buster farming nowadays. I think she's well worth A+. I think she deserves it. She used to be so much worse, right? But now she is very legit. Just need that absorb to be a much better DPS as well. Mao Nobu finally has a good place now, though. So she's not like a very awkward DPS that didn't really do much. There you go. I'm not sure. I don't think I can even do A++ here. I like A+, honestly, for her. That's very fair. Right. The next one. Okay, another, you know, big favorite, I suppose. Space Ishtar. So what is she? She's a DPS, she's a quick farmer, arts farmer, buster. I shouldn't say quick farmer, it's mostly a joke, but arts and buster are definitely very legit farming options for her, which makes her very flexible, which is Gureto daze. Now, 12.6k attack once again, love it. Very high. Gains are honestly not bad for, you know, what they are. They're actually alright. They're fair. Well, obviously, I mean, especially for looping, they're actually really good. But I'm talking face cards here mostly. But yeah, for looping, they're very good, obviously. Skills. Self-attack up 3 turns, 20%. And then the rest of your party, because she's a nice girl, I guess, that gets 30% attack for 3 turns instead. And then everyone, well, not everyone. Her teammates get Charm Immune for 3 turns as well. I would say this is an okay skill on a 5-turn cooldown. Nothing crazy, but definitely an okay skill. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about the deck, but yeah. Double Buster, double Arts, I think makes a lot of sense considering most of the time you'll be using either a Buster or an Arts MP for her. So yeah, I think the deck makes a lot of sense for sure. Second skill. This is the thing why she can do both Arts and Buster farming, I guess. So self MP damage up for 1 time, 3 turns. I wish it was like 3 turns just flat out, but oh well. Helps with your turn 1 damage, I suppose, if you're Buster farming. If you're Arts farming, you can actually save this, because obviously her MP is Arts on base, so you don't have to use this turn 1, because sometimes you might want to use it on wave 3 instead. But if you're Buster farming, obviously you need to use this turn 1, so it is what it is. And also self-invul for 1 attack, 3 turns. Ain't too shabby, I guess. It's a cute bonus. And then, of course, you can choose the MP type for the next 3 turns. Also has a good uptime for that. So even if you're using as a DPS, let's say you want to use her as a Buster DPS, you can still do that. The uptime is still going to be fine. So, yeah, it's a very crucial skill, I guess. Then the third skill, it's the good old 50% batter and a 6-turn cooldown, but she gets a chance to get rainbow buffs, 20% each for 3 turns. All 80% individually. There's no one calculation. It does 3 calculations individually. But honestly, in a lot of cases, it's not a big deal if you don't get those. They don't usually end up mattering at all, but, you know, I still hate RNG. Obviously, you guys know me, but at least in her defense, in a lot of cases, you don't really need them. They're not that huge, but... At least in farming. On DPSing you probably kind of would like them, but on farming they're not that big of a deal. Now passives, there's a lot of them. Again, Magic Receipt, nice. Some crit damage, doesn't make too much sense because she really has nothing for crit potential otherwise, but you know, it's a bonus, I guess. 20% additional debuff res, very nice, so it's now 42%, kind of nutty. pretty decent ranks on the Avenger passives as well, so not too bad. Then the MP. Just different damage modifiers depending on what you're using, obviously. So, there's the other normal effect as well, which increases her extra damage by 100% for 1 turn. So she, especially if you get a full, again, it's a lot of people still don't know this, but if you do a Brave Chain that is exactly the same card type, it doesn't matter which one, it can be a full Quick Brave Chain, full Arts, full Buster, it will buff the extra damage by a lot. And then you have this on top, and I know a lot of people also get the Append as well. Her extra can do some serious fucking damage, dude. If you get the right Brave Chain, it can do some serious damage as a DPS, I suppose. Not really that relevant for farming. And then the OC is very good, because it's a 3-turn MP damage up before damage on a base 30%. That is very strong. Good OC, definitely. Yeah, what can I say? This will definitely not come as a surprise. I will not place her in EX Plus, though. But she is EX. Definitely. But I will not make an EX Plus tier for her. Oh, did I say 30%? I meant 30, I meant the, what was it again? 20%, yeah. My bad if I made a mistake. But yeah, she's obviously one of the premier farmers of the game, so there you go. Great. Can do both, but and if you look at the charts here again, you have a lot of options. 2 options for Buster farming, depending on your CE servants, and then also obviously good old double caster with Black Rail works wonders. Definitely. And a good DPS too. Name a better farmer. Well, even if there is one, does it matter? Like, even if there isn't one, doesn't matter. I would argue Melusin is better, but, you know, whatever. Anyway. Moving on. This is a fun one. An interesting one. We got Tyra. Ooh. Oh yeah, I should note on Space Star that it would be recommended for MP2, because MP1 sometimes is a bit lacking. So, if anything, that's also a reason why she's not EX+. Because Melusin can still do insane damage at MP1. I digress, let's talk about Tyra. Okay. So, single target quick DPS, but honestly, mostly known for soloing, I think, yeah. Her usage in a team comp is slightly awkward, because it's counterintuitive of her... it's blocking a lot of her potential damage, basically. So it's kind of weird. She can work in a team comp as well, but I feel like her best potential is on solos. But it's not like she can solo absolutely everything. It's good, don't get me wrong. I've seen a lot of videos, you know, shout out to Plushie as well, who does them a lot, but, yeah. Anyway, let's look at good numbers. 12.7k attack, massive, needless to say, ridiculous. Double quick, double art stick. I feel like it's a bit odd. I almost would have preferred double quick, double art, or double quick, double buster, but... yeah, I guess this means her MP is, you know... you can easily cycle with her MP a bit faster, I suppose. Gains, I'm not too sure about, because my usage of her is still fairly limited, so feel free to give me pointers. Stargen seems to be pretty decent, though, for sure, because her MP has some hits as well. Remember how you lock that when rolling her? Oh yeah, I do. Now, the first skill. So, self-Genji damage for 3 turns. Now, let's just take a look at what we have under Genji here, under the traits, because... it's not the biggest thing out there, as you can see. It's not even 2 rows of servants. Definitely, I mean, she's an Avenger, which makes it a bit more lenient, right? Because, you know, you can kind of bring Avenger on neutral as well. Obviously, you'd still prefer more damage, but yeah. So it's not the biggest option for damage bonus out there. But hey, it is 200% damage, though, for 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown, so... yeah, if you do fight a Genji trait servant, they will die, probably. But yeah, it's still, there's not that many of them. But that is an insane damage modifier. Yeah, you can do Tyra versus Tyra as well. Now, self-crit damage, 100% for 3 turns. Pretty damn fat too, huh? Yeah. Self-battery, 30%. And also cripples your party's gain, or star absorb. For 3 turns, and this is good. This is what Cha-Cha was lacking. She had a 50% one. This is a 100% one, so this actually helps. This actually will help that she gets the stars. Still not the most guaranteed thing out there, but this helps a lot. It's a really important thing that it's a minus 100% instead of like minus 50%. So all in all, even if you don't get the Genji thing, this is actually a great skill to begin with. Like, it's actually just a very great offensive skill, even if you don't use the Genji damage. Very fat crits. Then this second skill is really fun, huh? So it's a 4-turn cooldown guts. One time 3 turns with a hefty 3k HP, which is also stackable, very important. Makes the solos also way more flexible and accessible. I guess she has death resistance, not that anyone cares about that. But then the other big thing. So for 3 turns, if your guts procs, you get 1 stack of her unique buff, which is called Ssr Avengers for 10 turns, which just makes her MP deal more damage, basically. You'll see the damage formula later, but yeah. Good uptime, definitely a very good uptime. But again, this is the problem when you play her in a team comp, right? If you're not fighting Genji, and if you're playing her in team comp, you're going to be missing a lot of this damage, right? Because she really won't be dying too much on a team comp, let's be real. And if you don't have these damage buffs active, I feel like her damage definitely falls a bit flat. But let's continue here. Third skill, self-evasion for 2 attacks, 3 turns on a 6-turn cooldown. Not too bad. And 30% attack up 3 turns. Good. And then, I guess, AoE curse for the enemy. Not that big of a deal. But still, I would say another pretty alright skill. Yeah. Definitely another pretty alright skill. Oh yeah, it's for a guts uptime. It is the best in the game, isn't it? I did mention this immediately, the 4-turn. But yeah, I guess it is the best as well for the uptime. So, and it's even better because it's a stackable one. So... yeah, still very good as a defensive skill too. Good old Avenger passives. If she gets hit, I guess she could get some nice gains. And then the MP. So I love this, as you guys know. So it's a buff strip for 1 enemy before damage. Always an amazing utility to have. And then you add the damage formula if you have some of these stacks. And the curse obviously sucks on the OC. But if you don't have any stacks, it just doesn't hit insanely hard, honestly. And if you're not fighting Genji. But you do have 2 options, you know, to get a bit more bonus damage, I suppose. Like, her potential for damage is really high, but it's not always going to be there. Especially for team comps, it's just a bit awkward. But her solos are legit, though. Especially the Genji ones. This is a really hard one for me to place, honestly. Because it depends on how much I want to emphasize on, like, solos and, like, potential fights against Genji. Which I don't think I want to emphasize too much. But I feel like she's here pretty much still. I can't place her below Jolter, at least. Definitely can't place her below Jolter. But I feel like because she's a bit, you know, awkward, I feel like I'm not even going to place her higher either. Because at least Jolter has consistency. I like the kid of Tyra more for sure, but Jolter is at least more consistent, so I feel like that kind of almost just balances them out, if anything. A lot of people are saying A++, huh? Interesting. Bits are more appeal because subs are 50% cut for Twitch. Maybe I should do A++, honestly. Even if her damage sometimes isn't that good. I still... because she's still very easy to keep alive as well, which I can appreciate on an Avenger, which is very rare, actually. A lot of Avengers tend to die pretty fast. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. I do like her survivability. It's really good. Like, she's really hard to die. Like, it's... goddamn. I'll keep her here for now. We'll see at the end, which is actually not too far off from now. Right, another big one, isn't it? Yeah, back to Ssr. Karma time. Okay, let's fix this first. Okay, yeah, that's way better. Okay, blue skin win. Anyway, Summer Karma Avenger, AoE arts, DPS, and farmer. Okay, I'll do the effect. Okay, fair enough. Jesus, might have to censor that. I don't know. Maybe not. All right. Anyway. 13.2k attack. Wow! How broken is that? How ridiculous is that attack stat? Yeah, it is. Double arts, double quick deck. Yeah, that's fair. She wants to MP a lot anyway, and it's not like she's like a crit goddess or anything like that, right? Gains are also fine. So yeah, pretty good start, I would say. Yeah, it's very close to Jolter, which says a lot. Now, self arts up, 3 turns, 30% 6-turn cooldown, and 2 hit evasion for 3 turns. I like that it's a hit-based evasion, which makes this less awkward on DPSing. Because if it was like a 1-turn evasion like Sherlock, it would be more awkward. So at least with this, it's a bit more flexible, because you can kind of use it a bit preemptively. Obviously, you'd still like to have an evasion up when it matters, but still, a bit more flexibility. Self MP damage up 3 turns, 20%. So it's this. It's again very good considering she's supposed to loop. So, yeah, good that it's 3 turns, and then up to 100% chance to charm for 1 turn AOE, which is very vital for the MP. But yeah, is this like the only AOE charm in the game that actually is 100% base? It is, right? Unless I'm forgetting something. So it's actually a very good skill, I would say. Even on a 7-turn cooldown, I still think it's a good skill. So yeah, it's like the best charm in the game, isn't it? At least on a skill. Very good. Self battery, 50% 6-turn cooldown. So again, the standard that we've come used to seeing at this point. Now, you also get an on-hit activated attack buff thingy. So when you hit an enemy, they get a special debuff, basically, which just literally increases our own damage against those enemies for 3 turns. And you can stack it up to 10, which is fun, I guess. So yeah, it's an interesting thing. On farming, it might not be the most relevant thing, but, you know, on DPS, it's definitely very nice to have, because it's a damage mod that you can just apply yourself. It's like very Arjuna Alter-esque, right? Pretty much. Great skill. Magic Rose, love it. Writing A. I guess she has 2 double 4-hitter quick cards. I can't talk, so that's not bad. Avenger passives, yes. Then she has this as well, like a lot of Kiara and she and some others do, I think. More crit damage, more mental debuff rest, and insta-kill rest, I guess. And also, much like OG Kama, she is charm immune, which is cool, I guess. And then the MP. I wish this was before damage, this defense down for 3 turns for 20%, but oh well, it's nice to have, I suppose. And then, here's why the charm is good, that it's 100% base, because her damage mod on the MP is against charmed targets, so... Obviously, you won't get this on every turn for your farm and, you know, even for your DPSing, but you will get it here and there. So it will make a big difference, 150% base on that bonus modifier. So, I mean, I obviously had to go through it, but I already knew where I was going to place her. She's the same as Spacious Star. They're mostly interchangeable. They're just mostly interchangeable in both DPSing and farming. Like, there's not a big difference in the grand scheme of things, honestly. I knew this from the get-go. I knew where I was going to place both of them. They're very similar, and both are obviously very good as well, so there you go. Yeah, now I'm just going to get all the comments, because now it's going to be the same as like the Arjuna Alter Morgan one. People are like, my favorite needs to be higher than this one, because it's not my favorite. Oh, Rin is better than Sakura. She should be higher. Ugh, I can't wait for the comments. But yeah, much like those two, these are also very interchangeable, so deal with it. That's what I decided to place them at. Right, now that was it for the Avengers as well. Now we finish off with the Moon Cancers. And the first one is Summer BB. A very interesting one for sure. So a AoE Buster DPS, a bit of farmer, not an amazing farmer by any means, even with the Buster supports, and a setup support for like challenge quests, I want to say. I don't know how to word that, honestly, but yeah, she does a lot of different things, though. Yeah, I hope so, MC. Right, 11.1k attack. A bit on the lower side, but not terrible by any means. Double arts, double buster deck, I think is perfect, because she has crit potential as well. And this means that her gains are also pretty good. They're actually fine, no worries there. Self-mod is back again, so this means she can be a crit DPS too, I suppose. Not bad, always a solid skill. Now the second skill is actually really damn good. 50% battery, great start. Self-heal for up to 3k, alright. Self-buster up 20% for 3 turns. Self-MP damage 50% for 3 turns, and 1 hit evasion for 3 turns. Wow. This skill is still to this day really good, huh? Still really good. Obviously the cooldown is pretty massive, but you get so much from this skill. So it's still a very good skill, I would say. But keep in mind, even with these 2 on 3 turns, I'll like the damage is still like, ooh, it's a yikes, isn't it? Ooh, like look at those numbers. Oh my god. Like, ooh, the turn 1 and 2 damage are so sad. Oh, it's so sad. She needs an MP buff right now. Okay, right now. Anyway, third skill, which is obviously the one thing she's super unique at. So, you know, you lock the current cards you have in your hand for 3 turns, or unless someone dies, I guess, or she dies, or this is a buff, right? So maybe this can be, removed as well. Maybe it cannot be. I'm not sure. Is this a buff? I think it's a buff because it has an icon too, right? So maybe that can also fuck it up. But yeah, up to 3 turns you have the same cards, so can enable a lot of interesting setups. Mostly for someone else besides her, but yeah. Also, a bonus 10 stars per turn for 3 turns in case, you're locking the cards of a crit servant. So, it's just good synergy, I suppose. A very fun skill. I still feel like maybe this skill is a bit overhyped, even after the Buster supports were introduced, but it's definitely a very good skill to have and can enable some fun stuff. Jolter Creation A is very nice because she has double Buster. Burn Immune because, why not? Love it. 2 stars per turn and some debuff rest from the Foreigner passive, very cool. And then more debuff rest, so overall, she does pretty damn well on passives, I would say. Foreigner bonus, huh? Whatever. Okay, the MP then. Guaranteed AoE drain, I like that. And then the OC might as well not be there. It's a stupid OC. So you can reduce the gauge of all the enemies by 1 a second time, but man, those chances are... I don't get it. It's weird, dude. It's weird. Like, why? And obviously the MP has never seen a buff, so man, the damage is not great. Like, even with these 2 great skills, like, it's a 50% MP damage. You think it would be a lot of damage, right? You think. But no, it's not. It's not. The MP is weak. It's weak. It's just really weak. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, sure, it's better than insta-kill, that's for sure. Or dots, but, it might as well not be there. It's just, yeah, too much gumbo. So I don't know, honestly, how to focus or what focus I should put on when placing her here. Because I feel like she's definitely not the best farmer. She's not the best DPS either. Maybe I should just focus on the setup she can do. Or just a mix of all of them. I feel like she's like right here maybe. Because she can do a lot of things. But it's not like she's ever going to be like, needed. Or like broken in anything. I feel like A might be fair, honestly. A+ might be too much for my tastes. Because sure, she can lock the cards as well, but the problem is she doesn't even... If you're doing the card lock for another one of your units, she doesn't give anything else to the unit. She only locks the cards. She can't even buff them or anything like that. The rest of her stuff are fully selfish, which is, again, a bit awkward if you ask me. B+ is better in your opinion? Honestly, I might agree. I wish she had more buffs to give out to allies. Then she would be way better as like a support as well. Maybe a bit savage, but I still don't think she's ever really like necessary or mandatory for anything. But hey, she definitely has good use cases. Yeah, B+ for double B. Hehe, get it? Now the fully unbiased Momento, right? Biggest Jinako fan right here. Alright, so there she is. Great statue god, Jinako. AoE, arts, DPS, and a tank and a support. Kind of all of those. Not the best in any of them, but she does a lot of things, I suppose. So, first of all, obviously everyone knows this. Her attack is pretty atrocious. It's a yikes. It's definitely a yikes. 9.1k is a joke for an SSR, but hey, at least, there is the silver lining that she tanks a bit better now, I suppose. Because of the very high HP, which is the highest in the game still. Triple art stick is fantastic, because that means her MP uptime is a bit better. Sadly, the gains are honestly still not that great. And now you can fully trust me, by the way, because I've used her more than anyone in this fucking chat, okay? So yeah, the gains are not amazing, sadly, despite having 4 hitter arts and 3 of them. They're not amazing, which is annoying because it cripples her MP, the gain from her MP as well, which means she's not a great looper either. So yeah, yeah. But they can be fine if you get like nice overkill crits. But overall, they're average at best, I would say. But hey, at least a lot of arch change is good. So the first skill is really good. So it's very comparable to the Hibiko one. This is a bit less stars and +1 cooldown, but it also comes with a 20% team battery. So I feel like it's a very fair trade-off. Both of these skills, very good. So 20% team battery, 20% team attack after 3 turns, and 15 stars per turn spread on 5 stars for all of your allies. Very, very good of a skill, man. Like actually really good. Second skill, there's a taunt, self 1 turn, big 1k damage cut so face cards don't really hurt her, and then self attack up 30% for 3 turns on a 5 turn cooldown. Also not a bad skill. It would be cool if she had a 3 turn taunt, she would be so much better, but yeah, it's not bad by any means. Still very flexible. And the third skill is interesting. So it's a targeted invul for 1 turn on a 5 turn cooldown, which is cool because that's better than normal. And also the target gets 30% MP generation for 1 turn, which also nice bonus. There is the merit of skill sealing the target though for 1 turn, which can actually be annoying. Obviously for the turn you use it on, no, not really, because you would obviously use this last, but for follow-up it's kind of annoying, isn't it? And that's why I think the cooldown is also 5, because if you use it on herself, and if you don't cleanse this, a lot of people again don't know this, but if you're skill sealed, your cooldowns do not move forward. A lot of people still don't know that. That's a big demerit of a skill seal, so it's much worse on the player than it is on the enemy. So your cooldowns are stuck at the number they are at. They will not move forward as long as you're skill sealed. So it's a pretty nasty demerit, but, you know, sometimes you can play around it, I guess. Still a pretty alright skill. Magic was A, love it. Writing A, pretty useless, not that great. A bit of more tickle from the divinity as well. The MP is actually amazing. Besides damage, is amazing. So, an AoE 30% defense down for 3 turns before damage? Like, most of these are 20% and not after damage. Hers is 30% before damage. Massive. And self-invul for 1 turn? Wow, that's great. And a bit of healing for herself too with the OC. Like, it's an actual EX tier MP besides the damage not being amazing, obviously. The effects are really good. So yeah, I take this from someone who obviously has used her in every way possible, but her best case scenario is in a challenge quest setup where she's a secondary DPS / support, and especially if you're fighting an enemy that has a single target MP, so she can easily soak those MPs with her taunts. And keep in mind, she has a very easily accessible invul, having 2 of them as well, so she's very easy to keep alive as well, and she can keep alive your allies as well. Oh yeah, worth mentioning, the Bond CE is actually very usable. It's really good. So it's like an alternate version of 2030. You get 8 stars per turn and heal your party by 300 every turn. So very usable, because, you know, she doesn't really need the stats too much anyway. So I actually use this quite often myself. She's here. She's right here. You can argue, but, and again, maybe biased, but at least, if anything, my bias means I have the best opinion about her, because I use her everywhere. I use her everywhere. I use her in most challenge quests too, and she does really fine. Obviously mine is better than most ones, but still, I know her potential, and I know it's legit. Also, I guess honorable mention, she can actually do Castoria farming. It's not pretty though, but, you know, worth mentioning, I guess, but it's not pretty. She's definitely very fine as and because she's a moon cancer, you can still bring her to like any challenge quest ever. Obviously the class is not amazing, but at least she will be neutral to most stuff, so it's not like she's gonna get her, you know, clapped or anything easily. And she's very good in Castoria setups too, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, if someone wants to call me biased for this, that's completely fair. That's fair. But I will place her in A. Alright, the last one. It's a pretty big one too, huh? Summer Kiara. Ooh. Yeah, foreigners are next week among the rest of the stuff. So, what do we got? AoE, arts, a DPS, and a farmer. And she does both pretty well, actually. Not gonna lie. She's pretty good at challenge quest and for farming. Looping is very easy on her. Her damage might not always be the best besides turn 3, but still. Easy loops at least, which is good. 11.1k attack. I wish it was a bit higher, but you know, not terrible by any means. Double buster, double arts I think is fine for the deck. Gains are also totally fine, so not too bad upstairs, I would say. Big in certain areas. I see what you did there. Yes. This is the one big unique skill she has, right? Which also really resonates with this other skills she has. So first of all, it's a one-time guts for 5 turns on a 6-turn cooldown with 4k HP. So that already is better than most basic gutses in the game. But it also cleanses her, which is great. And you also heal by up to 2k per turn for 3 turns, which is also great. And you get 20% MP damage for 3 turns. Like, already those aside, it's really good. And then you get the really unique effect of this regen buff for 4 turns, and every turn you get a buff that basically makes your second and third skill better by consuming these thingies. Like, man, this is actually a really, really nutty skill right here. Yeah. So yeah, you'll see what the final effect here will do with these skills as well, because it's listed differently. They have 3 ranks because of that. So on base, the second skill is a 30% battery for self with 20 star bomb on a 5-turn cooldown. Even as is, this is not terrible by any means, actually. This is totally a fine skill. But if you consume one of them, if you consume one of these skill rank ups, now it's a 40% battery and 25 stars. And if you consume 2, keep in mind, you can actually have more than 2 at a time, but it will not, you know, over consume them, which is good, because it would be so annoying if it did. Like, let's say you have 3 of these, this would only consume 2 of them and still leave you with 1 of them, which is great. Yeah, now you get 50% battery and 30 stars. Now that is just amazingly sexy on 5-turn cooldown. And then the third skill also has a similar effect, obviously. So base, party evasion, 1 attack, 3 turn, 6-turn cooldown. Also removes enemies evasion. Pretty niche, but okay. And then you get the unique debuff as well for 3 turns, which, you know, by itself reduces their crit chance by 10%, which is actually good, because you can get a lot of these out there. But it's going to be way more relevant for the MP, this special debuff, if anything. But hey, that crit chance down is pretty big for bosses too. And AoE 20% defense down for 3 turns, and AoE archer is down 20% 3 turns. Man, like, even though, again, these skills on base as well, without these skill ups, are also really damn good. But then you consume 1, you get 2 stacks of the special debuff. You get more defense down and more arts res down. And if you consume it again, it's the same thing, 3 stacks of the special debuff, 30% defense down and 30% arts res down. Oh, baby. This is a really sick skill set, man. It just works. It's so good. Wow. Of course, she has to have an EX arts passive as well, because, you know, balance. And permanent 12% MP damage. Fun, because that's balanced. You know, then the same passive as Kama had, you know, not big numbers, but it's a bit of bonus. And then also the Kiara passive. She doesn't have the ruler thing, keep in mind. I guess, you know, but she does have this, which is really good. It's the humanoid defense at 14%. And again, keep in mind, 99% of servants in this game are humanoids, so that's really damn good. Especially, again, on, you know, on challenge quests. And yeah, she obviously doesn't have the other passive, the ruler one, because she is a moon cancer, so that would be very counterintuitive. It doesn't make any sense. Right, the MP. So, bonus damage modifier based on mental debuffs. And yes, as you can see, Bewitchment, her special debuff, is considered a mental debuff. So yeah, that's why it's also really nice. On top of the crit chance down. So it's just it's a better version of a crit chance down, because it also amplifies her damage. Instant kill sucks, but hey, thank fucking God this is after damage, because if it wasn't, she would be a terrible farmer. She would only be a DPS, but hey, this is at least after damage, which is good, so it doesn't cripple her farming. Unlike Nidacris, rest in peace. But yeah, at least this is after damage. So yeah, if you don't have any of these mental debuffs up, the MP, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't hit super hard. It doesn't. So that's why she can kind of struggle sometimes with turn 1 and turn 2 damage if you're looping with her. But especially once you get those Bewitchment stacks up on most likely turn 3, then if that damage is real, is like crazy good. Ooh, and to show you the numbers here as well once again, this is what she looks like. So as you can see, both turn 1 with a full black rail, because her gains are so good, she can actually use black rail, which is great. But even then, she's still short of 100k for both turn 1 and 2, which can sometimes be, you know, a difference maker. But even then, she farms well too, honestly. She farms really well. So definitely as well here. Definitely here too. No surprises there, right? So there you go. Man, a lot of good stuff in these classes, huh? Yeah. How about that? A very good arts farmer as well, among the best ones. Triple damage on turn 3, yeah. Pretty much. I can't place her in EX plus, sadly. No, I can't do that. Not quite enough damage to get there. I'm looking at both farming and DPS, by the way. But yeah, not quite there. But EX is definitely fair, I feel like. I'm not going to place anyone here to EX plus among these 3 classes. Alright, look at this big gap here. I'll show you all of it right now, because before we call it though, is there any swaps that should happen? I'm pretty happy with this as is, but I'm willing to listen to opinions again. Try to keep them unbiased though if possible. But yeah. You think Mao Nobu should be A++? That might be a valid argument, honestly. She's a great buster farmer. She can't really do 90 plus super well though, can she? That's kind of annoying. Because her turn 1 and turn 2 damage isn't that high. Is Rish here? Do you think Mao Nobu should be A++? Like between A plus and EX? Yeah. I don't know. I can maybe bump Bunny Toria to a B+, just because she's still the best class in the game and she's always going to be like a solid DPS to have. You know what? Yeah, that's fair. That's totally fair. I was pretty unfair towards her, so yeah, this is fair. She's still always going to be like a very good unit, but just never like amazing at anything. She's still just good. Just good. Yeah, exactly, Jord. I might be willing to bump Nobu to A++, honestly. Maybe. You'd keep Mao in A++, personally. The Buster 3 turning requirement is still high at MP2 with Oberovich. Yeah, you know what? Yeah. Actual numbers, yeah, that makes sense. Some people are saying first Emperor at A++. I feel like I want to keep him at A+, because, again, if he doesn't crit, he's not doing much. And he doesn't have any way to enable crits in his own kit either. So he needs a lot of help to be consistent. I undervalue Gorgon utility and MP damage. I think not. Like, most people have her at MP1. I can't even give her, like, the, you know, benefit of the having maybe some people might have higher MP levels, because she's not even permanent. So I feel like Gorgon is fine there. If she was permanent, I might consider A, honestly. I can't really do it here. Too unreasonable to even get her to higher MP levels. She doesn't even get that many banners. You think Dante's loot too low compared to the SSRs? Well, considering you having Braille, I'm not surprised, but... like, A is still fine. He's not bad. He can absolutely do still farming. Totally. Nothing wrong with him. I just think he kind of, you know, looks... he's not that great compared to a lot of these other options nowadays. Louis AX Plus. Yeah, I would do that in my personal list for sure. Yeah. Some people saying BB Summer A. I don't know. You think Holmes should be bumped down to A instead of A+? I might be willing to do that, honestly. I might be willing to do that. Maybe that's more fair. Sherlock at A instead of A+. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, let me slide him down a bit. There you go. BB is still good at crit sync and both survive and loop. Yeah, but her looping is not good. The supporting is only literally her locking cards. She doesn't give anything else to an ally. And her own crits are not great either, honestly, because she mostly does neutral damage. I feel like she does a lot of stuff for sure, but not like, you know, breaks the bank in anything. So. First Emperor is a god in CQs. But not a very consistent god is what I want to say. Sure, I obviously reckon I've used him myself too in some. I recognize the value, but I think A+ is where he belongs. I honestly might be okay with this. Check Kiara Bonsi. Oh, is it cool? I actually don't know what it is. Self Guts, 100% HP, stackable. Interesting. Don't think it's usable though for a DPS though, but that's cute, I guess. Maybe if you're doing solo or something, I don't know if that's even a thing. Haven't ever heard of that though. Kind of cute CE though. Koyan and Vich fix Gorgon problems. I guess they do help a lot, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask others because Jordanian is obviously the most biased person when it comes to Gorgon. Do you guys think Gorgon should be on A? Because I want other opinions as well. Sure, Vich is very great with her, obviously, because, you know, you get that lacking absorb. Because she only has a 1-turn one. I feel like she's pretty fair at where she belongs, yeah. I'm sorry, Jordanian, but I'm gonna keep her in a B+. But hey, none of this matters anyway, does it? No. Yeah, you do have the best experience with her as well, but that's fair. But you also gotta realize your experience with her is with the best Gorgon in the game. So again, yeah, obviously you've used her more than anyone else in this chat, but you have the best Gorgon in the game. So yeah, it can be a bit misleading. I think I'm okay with it. I think this is what I'm gonna do. No, I'm gonna keep first temp at A+, honestly. Not even A+. I want him at A+. There it is. Yeah, you're not wrong, Nightmoon. And I did say people can flame me for the Jinako placement if they want. Because obviously my Jinako is not the most realistic one. I did say people can call me biased for that one. But yeah. Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that, honestly. There you go. I'm pretty happy with this. Hopefully not too much salt in the comments. At least stream was pretty calm today. From what I saw. So, thank you for that, dudes. So yeah. How about that? That is part 1 of extra classes done. It should be a pretty similar length of, or similar number of servants next week, hopefully, if everything goes according to plan. And next week is gonna be Shielder, Foreigner, Alter Ego, and Pretender. So it's gonna be another fun times ahead, right? Yeah. So again, there's the final rankings. Again, please be civil in the comments if anything. But if you watch this full thing on YouTube, and even if you didn't, even if you're just here checking out, if you can just do me a favor, just press the like button. That means a lot, and it helps a lot as well. And definitely subscribe for more, because, you know, we're still gotta finish these up, and there's gonna be more good videos every single week. Gacha gameplay, stuff like this. You never know. So, yeah, with that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and peace out. I'm really hoping I'm not getting Rona, because my voice is fucking dying. And this was a much shorter list than the other ones, and my voice is so much dying. Like, I'm dying so much more than the others. Is next week on Friday? Probably, yeah. This was a exception, because I knew this was not going to take a full stream, so I might as well combine it with the rolls that were happening basically a day before Friday. No, the rolls are going to happen now. This was just a tier list. Alright, let's see. Woo! Okay, let me make sure everything's good. Okay. Let me grab my phone. Wish me luck. Thanks, man. Let's see. I'll pause the music a bit now. Because now we get to listen to the best OST ever made, the gacha music. Fun times. Despair music, if you will. Don't think I need my charger here because, you know, this is not a full stream of gameplay. It's not actually any gameplay at all, unless you consider gacha gameplay. Also, you know what? I should do my ritual. That was not it. That was Ssr. I saw that. Now that I still remember. Oh shit! You know what? Let me grab my catalyst. I forgot. Okay, be right back. Like 1 minute. I'll be back very soon. Oh my god. Aha! I got my catalyst. Alright, let's see. Is my audio working? Let me do my ritual as well. Come on, Ssr. That's Charles Babbage. That's not an Ssr. Yeah, we'll see, Sakai. I got Liz now. Nope. Still looking for that Ssr. Valk getting close, but no cigar. You'll hear the audio soon. Oh, there we go. Good. Finally. Got an Ssr. So let me move myself here as well. Wow. So you can see my ugly face better. Sanzang. Oh yeah, I missed some subs as well, I think. Now we actually have the alerts
Bless
back again.
these rolls,
So let's see, who did I miss? I probably missed a few. So Vish, thank you for the 6 months. Miso with the 7 months. Braden with the 5 months. Oh, Dario with the brand new sub as well. Cool. NX with the 9 months. Umud Life Best Life, thank you for 4 months. Sun with the 23 months, thank you. And Kutito just now with the 23. Thank you so much, dudes. Welcome back to the Go Gang, all of you. Thank you. So yeah, this is my, I might as well show it to you now. This is the catalyst. The Greek vase is back, baby! It's back. Yes. I have it again. Alright. Yes. Genuine vase from Greece. Back when I was like 2 years old, we went to Greece. I don't remember obviously anything about it because I was a baby, but that's where my mom got it from. Fuck yeah, dude. Woo! Oh yeah, Data is also downloaded, that's good. Well, in the past it has actually helped me a bit, but we'll see if it helps today. Apparently Ushi lucksacked the shit out of this banner. Fun fact. Probably stole all the units. Alright, probably just gonna immediately get into it, right? So welcome! This is the Olympus Rolls! We're finally here.
Oh
Wow,
no.
that was immediate.
Oh no!
Okay, we'll do that too, huh? Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. You know what? I'll just redo that. Alright, here we are. Totally first take. Olympus Rolls. Let's go. So, yeah. We finally get the second part of Lost Belt 5. And with it, of course, new banners. Next week is going to be a Roma banner. But now we got Dioscuri and Cadis as the 5 and 4 stars respectively on rate up. 1 permanent 5-star, 1 story-locked 4-star. Now, my goals today, simply enough, 1 of each. I just want 1 of each. I do like both of them, especially Pollux. She's hot. But I'm not that big into them. And of course, Roma is next week. So I don't really want to break my bank here. So there you go. I got some quartz, a couple of tickets. I think they also brought new Cs as well, as you can see on the background. The Witchcraft one in particular is actually a great 5-star C, but sadly, as with always, they are not on rate up. Common misconception. With these, they just get introduced to the banner, the permanent pool, but they are not on rate up, so I'm not really holding up too much hope to see those. Maybe the 3-star C might be easy to get, but the 4 and the 5-star probably won't be seeing them today. Now, one more thing before I roll. I have my trusty old catalyst here because I'm rolling for, you know, Greek stuff. So you know what that means. Let me show you. Oh, baby, look at this. Some people might remember this. It's been ages since I've used it, but it's the good old Greek vase. Yes, a genuine vase from Greece. Yes, it's actually from there. So my good old catalyst is with me today because I'm obviously rolling for Greek servants. Let's go. All right. Let's see what the gamba is. What is the gamba? Oh wow, it's still going actually. That was a long one, huh? Okay, it's gonna end in like 20 seconds, then I'll do the first one. Yeah, okay. And Beal, I won't do the first as the skip, obviously. I always start with the normal one. Wait, were you streaming, Chemist? I just saw that. Did you just host the stream? Okay, that's funny. I assume you were rolling. I didn't even know you streamed. Anyway. So yeah, as usual, you guys know how I roll. So, yeah. Normal multi at first. I have one skip I have to do for Beal, but here we go. Starting with normal multi. Also, data has been downloaded, so no loading screens will be present. Let's go, come on. Okay, Black Trail, cool. Don't need it, but the chat will be mad now. But yeah, okay, cool. Come on, face, come on. I'm pretty sure I had this 2 years ago as well when I was rolling this banner on JP. Pretty sure I had the exact same catalyst. And it hasn't been used for a very long time, so I'm hoping it has had time to, you know, regen some mana into it, if you know what I mean. So, no, why do I say it like that? Now it sounds like I'm coming inside the jar. Okay, fuck, never mind that. Okay, I shouldn't have said that. Okay. Deluxe Adios Cruisers, okay. Wow, okay then. I would just like one copy of each, hopefully somewhat painlessly. Because man, Roma banner is next week and I'm scared. I've been using so much money on gacha lately. I don't wanna use more. Come on. Come. No archers, no. We're looking for lancers and sabers. That's what we're looking for. No, the skip hasn't happened yet, Memeland. I always open with a normal multi. You know this, Memeland. Okay, that's what I do. That's what I do. Hopefully my voice can last until the end, because man, that tier list took a toll on it. Ooh. Oh yeah, is the game loud? I actually don't know. No, I assume it's fine. Whatever. It's probably fine. Hey, I actually got the 3-star C. Okay. Well, again, like I said, the 3-star C was probably a bit easier to get, but I'd be surprised if I got the gold ones today. This one might be a dud. I have a feeling this one might be a dud. Yeah. Oh, I should have a quartz counter, you're right. That's the one thing I forgot. I'll add it after this. Damn. Well, not a very great start, is it? But, oh well. Also, I should add a quartz counter. Someone reminded me. Let's do that real fast. Boom! Quartz counter. You're welcome, okay? Forgot that at the start, but now it's up, okay? Still fine. So wait, Beal, I assume it's a normal skip, right? You just to confirm, you're normal skipper, right? Not hyper. Because I think that's the next one I'll do. Normal always, okay. All right, so I owe one skip to Beal, so it's just a normal skip. Here we go. Hopefully not a mineral. Hopefully not a mineral. Come on, man. Come on. It's a CE. Got clowned on, dude. I got clowned on. Well, it's not a mineral, but I think it's another C because the load was instant. Damn. Damn, dude. Oh, gold spin! Vase! 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 Come on! Has to be right up, right? It has to be. It has to be right up! It has to be! Yes! Yes! Woo! Let's go! The base! Let's go! Woohoo! Hell yeah, dude! Hell yeah! Oh yes! It has power, I keep telling you. Okay, it works every time when I summon Greek stuff. Let's go. Subcaster. What a toxic guy, but I'm okay with this. Oh. Pollux is so hot, dude. Oh, it was the last card too. Okay, you know what that means? Bless 11 roll. Bless 11 roll every time. Bless it. Bless it. It's so clutch. Thank you, 11 roll. Thank you. Okay, great. What a great start, dude. Okay. I mean, it's not over yet, because I still want Canis. I hope it doesn't take too long. Because honestly, if I get the Canis as well fast, I'm just done. I'm just done. I don't want to spend any more than I have to. I don't want to spend any more than I have to, so... Now I would just like to get one copy of Canis, and then I can, you know, look forward to Roma if anything. Let me do my tickets. I might as well. I have 2 of these. Maybe I'll do a Kita-shan, because I don't think it's going to mess up my multis, right? Yeah, maybe I'll do a Kita-shan, actually. Yeah, why not? Wow, Albert. Okay, I see you. Well, it's funny though, if you remember JP, I actually wanted Canis way more than Dioscuri, and it was actually harder for me to get her there too. Although it was the same multi, wasn't it? I think. It was the last multi I had before I was out of courts, so that was a pretty poggin multi. Canis seems to be a hard one to get. Damn. Yeah, she's harder because, you know, they're permanent and she's story locked, right? That's good logic right there. Alright, this is single number 3. Come on, man! No archers, no. Alright, this is number 4.
Okita-san, daishori.
No riders either. I did get Dioscuri already, Fate. Very blessed. Hopefully Canis won't be too mean. Alright, this is number 5. Number 5. Well, Kita-shan singles, not good, but... the Kita-shan multi powered by the vase. Do it. Do it. Let's go. I'm holding it all the time. I'm not letting go, dude. It's in my hand. It's firmly in my hand. Spark. Imagine. Okay. Just do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Spark. What a tease, man. What a tease. Hey, it's Roma. Haha, you're 1 week early, bro. Okay. I'm actually happy it was a gold spin too, because a lot of gold spins tend to be 4 stars. It's for me at least, it's rare to see an SSR from a gold spin. Yeah, yo, that was... what the fuck was that multi, huh? Jesus. Isn't Canis also in Roma better? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it's just Roma, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I wish she was there as well. I would have stopped immediately. Yeah, Roma is solo. Darius. Okay, this time you win. This time. But your record is still not that great.
Skip gang wins again.
Yeah, this time, okay? This time. Spark? Noodle the Lancers, man. Can I get a Canis? Put it. Is that enough pause? Was that certain pause? No way! No, 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 no. Oh my god! What? What? Bro, what? Bro, what? It was servant pause. Oh my god, dude. Oh. What, dude? The fuck? This is too OP, man. This pod is OP. Oh my god. Oh yeah, I should update my counter as well. I didn't do the singles there yet. I'll update it afterwards. Oh my god. God damn it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have, you know, the best single target saber at MP2, but I only wanted one, so... And now I'm gonna update this to be, it's 105, right? Yeah, okay. Man, I need to ditch the vase, if anything, if I can get a K to get a K this year. Alright, I guess I'll keep going, because whatever I'm doing seems to be doing something at least. Alright. Oh yeah, I should update the counter already, because I can. Because otherwise I'm gonna forget. Better than Sigurd? Yeah, a lot better. I do like Sigurd more though, personally. I mean, going for it. I just want 1k this winter. That MP2 Dioscuri was just a bonus. I want the new 4-star as well, so I'm missing just the 4-star. Just have an MP counter. Oh wait! No, you get out! Get out of here! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing, man? What are you doing? What is this? Bro, get out! No! What? No shot, dude! No shot! No shot! What the fuck? What is this? Dude! What is happening here? What the hell is happening here? I don't believe this. Dude, I'm wasting all my luck here. When it's a servant, I'm not even interested in multiple copies of. Fuck, dude. Like, just wait for my Hijikata Himiko rolls later this year. They're gonna be shit. All of the extra copies are going here, man. God damn. God damn. Okay.
Reject bars. Return to skip gang.
Okay then. Okay. Jesus. You got 2k this is on the same roll, chemist? Oh god. Give me one of them, okay, please. I'll give you one Dioscuri for a Canis. What is happening? Dude, my voice is already dying. I can't scream this much. Your luck is hard roll now, everyone. Well, apparently Chemist is getting luck too here. Jesus. What is happening? It did, Goblin. I guess this time I did convert it, but whatever. I don't even know what's happening anymore. I don't even know. Yeah, that's the bad part of winter, because next time I'm gonna complain about bad luck, people are gonna remind me of this when I didn't even want this. It's so annoying, because now I get all the luck when I don't want the luck. Like, give me luck when I'm rolling for MP5 of someone or something. Like, it's just wasted at this point. But people will definitely remind me of this. And that's fair, but man, I could use this luck elsewhere. Anyway. I guess I'll do another skip for Beal then. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Pew! Alright, there it is. Okay. Hello, Karen. Well, looks like Skip Gang is out of stock. Okay, if anything, I deserve that. I deserve that, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. That was the minnest of the min rolls. Yeah. Dude, I hope I can get Canis still. I don't wanna buy more just to get one Canis. Fuck. Damn. Yeah, let's do 5 more singles because I can still spare those, right? I can. And it's gonna be... I'm gonna get a double roll here as well. So let's do a bit more singles here. I'll add them after I'm done with the singles to the counter. Gold! Face! 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 Do it! Cadence! Gold spin! Come on! No! No, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done, I'm done! What the fuck, dude? I'm confused! I don't know what's happening anymore! What? What the fuck? I've never had this luck. I've never, ever had this luck. I'm so confused. What? Dude, anyone wants a pod for Khaled? I can rent this pod now. Fuck, dude. Well, it's working to something at least. Okay. We'll continue with the singles after that, I guess. We'll continue. What the fuck? Cool. It almost was in the skip multi, by the way. If it had one more roll, that could have been in the skip multi.
Gang relieved you of your Dioscuri. Return to skip gang.
No. You're not wrong, yo, but I hate the fact that it's still wrong, Luck, but whatever. You're not wrong, otherwise.
MP5 Dioscuri incoming keg.
So wait, it's gonna be 5 singles after I've done the singles, right? So I just add 15 to the counter then. What? MP4. What? But why? But why? Yeah, yeah, exactly. I mean, I have no business even having MP4 Dioscuri at this amount. I'd be lucky to have one at this point. Alright, the singles were a no-go. Actually, no, they were a go. I forgot. The first one was really good, but okay. So we're 6 multis in right now. With the tickets converted this time as well, I guess. Well, 2 more to go, I guess. Dude, let's do a blind one. Yeah, I agree. The next one will be blind. I have to do my quote-unquote own ritual as well. Alright, this one is blind. And I really want to hear a new servant sound. Because that means it's gonna be Canis guaranteed. Alright, let's go. Hey, we got 2 servants already. Pog. Need to hear those new sounds though. Was that enough pause? I can't see the animations, so it's hard to say. Well, whatever. Well, definitely no Katas at least.
Oh, kita-san, dai shori.
Whoa! Wait, that's a CE though, right? I think that was a CE. I think I got one of the... It's either the 4 or the 5 star. That wasn't a servant. I'm pretty sure that was a CE. But you know what? Okay, I'll take it. I hope it's the 5 star one. It's actually pretty good. Yeah, it had to have been a CE. Wow, it's still going. Well, at least they got something new. Wow, it's still going. Well, definitely no Cadus, but let's see. Is it a 5-star CE? Oh, what? No! No way! What? No! 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 Are you kidding me? No! It was pause, wasn't it? When I suspected it was pause, it was, wasn't it? Oh my god. Oh my god.
Also farm stream boys.
Did I MP5 Dioscuri in the equivalent of 7 multis? Did I MP5 Dioscuri in 210 quartz? Wow. 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 Cool. Sadly, wasn't the 5-star Z, but what? Who fucking cares? Ugh. Dude, I'm actually gonna put this pod to the side now. I don't want it anymore. I have no need for it. It's not helping with Cadus, it seems. I'm just gonna put it to the side now. Okay. Be gone. Also at 2030, I guess. Not that I need it, but you know, it's there as well, I guess. What the Alright, let's do one more then. That's the quartz I had prepped, I guess. Come on. What is happening? This makes no sense whatsoever. No, I guess the video title is pretty clear now. Something best luck I've ever had in my entire life. Casual peak. Casual peak of luck. Not even close, by the way. Not even close. It's by far the luckiest I've ever been in this game. I just don't understand. I haven't even got a single 4-star yet, right? I haven't. So, in what world do you get 5 SSRs and no 4-stars and also get the rate up 5-star every time? In what world? The odds of this happening have to be like... Gold! Come on, just do it! Make a perfect finish here! Don't you fucking dare be a saber, dude! Yes! Yes, 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 yes! 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 I'm so happy! I'm so happy, dude! Yes! 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 Oh my god, the final multi and everything, dude! What a perfect session, dude! Holy shit! Yes, it wasn't a saber! As soon as I ditched the vase, dude! Oh my god! Oh, let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Fuck yes, dude! Fuck yeah! Oh, that's so good. Dude, what an amazing session. Yeah, sounds about right, George, yeah. Woo. Yeah, I'm gonna fill out a couple of lottery lines this week. I'll do that. They do the, you know, the selection on Saturday, I think. So I still have time. Fuck yeah, dude. Okay. I don't understand how this is even remotely possible. This will never happen again. I'm kinda sad that it happened on this banner of all banners, but dude, I'll take the blessing, I guess. I'm sneezing because I'm losing it. Yeah, this was dumb, let's be real. I'm gonna need at least 1,000 quartz to get 1 Roma next week. At least. Hello, Canis. I guess you didn't like my vase. I can't do it, Bill. I can't do it. I can't do it.
I have to do it. Reject kindness, return to USO.
I can't do it. I can't do it, dude. There's no point. There's no point. I'll at least conclude the video here. Alright, so, yeah, wow. There's no words. There's no words. In fact, let's do this as well. This is a pretty interesting sight to end a video. What? Oh, I didn't even update the counter, my bad. Let's do that as well. What? This did not happen, did it? This is a mistake. This is a mistake. This still doesn't make any sense. This just doesn't make any sense, okay. Okay, yeah, I will never be this lucky again. And sadly, it wasn't one of my grail targets, but hey, it was nice to peak, you know? It was pretty nice to get that luck peak, because nothing I've ever done was even close to this. I've had some pretty lucky moments playing this game, but nothing comes even close to this session here, so there you go. Yeah, that'll conclude the video, so yeah, if you still have any, you know, will to give me a like, that would be cool. Don't blame you if you don't want to do that though. And subscribe for more. The tier list will be uploaded tomorrow, the part 1 of the extra classes, so don't miss out on that. And yeah, I guess I'll just leave it at that. Alright, take care. Peace out. Bruh. Bruh. Sure, Bill, I'll do your multi still. It's not gonna make it into the video, though. I'll do the multi for you, though, but it's not gonna make it into the video. I have to get the quartz, though. I guess you want me to bring back the vase? Oh shit, that's loud, I'm sorry. Maybe it's not, I don't know. That was not good though. Okay. No, I got it again. Look at it. The artwork is fucking ballin', by the way. It's like a bunch of Greek characters, you know, doing their thing. This is the real deal, dude. Greek servants? You want this. This is now at... how old is this? 25 years at least? Because again, I was 2 years old when we went to Greece. Alright. So this is the final. Okay, you want to skip, right, as well? It's a skip, I assume. I'm not even going to do the singles. Those are going to stay. It's just a one multi. You don't care, to be honest? Wow. This was so crazy. Even a member of the skip gang is flabbergasted. Let's just do a normal one, I guess. Sure. Age reveal? I thought my age was pretty public knowledge. At least most of the regulars in the stream know it. Yeah. He's 40. Damn, dude, exposed. This banner was just dumb. There's no words around it. Just dumb. It makes no sense. Just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I definitely can't complain after this anymore, but I still hate the fact that it had to be this banner and not something I really wanted to, like MP5, like Hijikata or Hibiko. God damn it. That counts as complaining. No, that's coping. Yeah, I remember that fog. Yeah, it was the same multi, but yeah, Canis was after the Uskuri and JP as well. Pretty sure I had the same boss then. I used this on my Iskandar summons too, and that was a success too on NA. It just works. Can't bring it besides Greek stuff. Like, I can't do it next week with Roma, sadly, but, you know, I guess it was pretty, pretty good here. Yeah. This is a well-deserved min roll, isn't it? A well-deserved min roll to end it. Yeah, cool, I know. The raid up was godly too, huh? Yeah. Shit, dude. It's just a really nice banner. You pulled your MP2 right now. Hey, congrats, man. Congrats. Yeah, probably MC, yeah. You still in shock? Dude, I'm in shock too! Oh my god. It's just unreal. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen. Alright, yeah, that's well deserved. Okay, that's fine. At least I got another copy of the 3-star C, but that's well deserved. Okay. Okay. We need to calm down now. We need to really calm down now. Oh my god.
Welcome to the lucky gang, Mr. Strimer. Now you cannot complain.
I was gonna buy
Gotcha
2 packs before the stream, but I'm kind of
cannot
glad I only
complain
bought
after
one.
Savannah
I was like, might as well,
smiles.
because I only want 1 copy of each. In case I get lucky, I think 1 pack plus the stuff I had ready might be enough. Yeah, it was. It was enough. So, kind of good that I didn't. I mean, I guess I could have, you know, I still need to get some for next week. But, you know. Eh. It was kind of cool that it was on the last multi as well. Makes it more meaningful. Yeah. I'll end the stream early today as well, because my voice is completely dead right now. Fuck. This is going to be fun to edit, though. It's going to be up later today, so... Yeah. It's going to be immortalized in the form of a video. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, and the tier list will be uploaded sometime tomorrow as well. It's going to take a little bit longer, because it's obviously a long video, so it needs to render and upload a long time. But yeah, this was nothing short of a miracle. It will never happen again. But hey, you know what? Even if it wasn't the banner I wanted it to happen on, I'll take it. I'll fucking take the blessings, dude. Considering I've had a mostly unlucky year this year. Suck my nuts, game. Suck my nuts, gotchas. Okay? Suck my nuts. And I know I'm just jinxing myself again, but, you know, I want this moment. Suck it. Suck the nuts. So yeah, thank you for being here today. My voice barely made it to the end, but it did. Tomorrow, playing some Genshin. Hopefully chilling with events, Abyss, etc, etc. And for today, though, thank you for the subs. Thank you for the resubs. Thank you for the gifted subs. Thank you for the bits. Thank you for the tips. Thank you for the follows. And most importantly, thank you so much for being here. Hopefully no one is not too salty about the tier list or the roles, although for the roles, I don't blame you. And yeah, look for YouTube for the videos, and otherwise I hope to see you hopefully tomorrow. Hopefully I don't get Rona or anything, although at this point I probably will get Rona because I'm too lucky. I need some karma, but hopefully not. Anyway, take